certified technicians, ensuring your car or truck is being worked on by the very best of the best. Custom Colors, located in the Industrial Plex off Siegen and Airline.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Friday, February 2nd. Today in Baton Rouge, expect sunny skies with a high of 72. In hour one of today's show, Jake and T-Bob are back in studio, and they will recap their time in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, everyone? Welcome in. OTB. Feels good to be back in the friendly climes of the Baton Rouge Mercedes-Benz studio here, 1045 ESPN. Super pumped to be back. I had an incredible time in Mobile. Shout out to Jim Nagy, the entire Senior Bowl team. It was probably the best year yet. In terms of access, players, the overall talent on the roster. A huge shout out to the MMR group for sending us. It means a lot. They support us, allow us to go do cool things like that. And a huge shout out to the kids there behind the glass, Alondra and Taylor. Great work, guys. How was it holding it down while we were gone?
To be frank, it was very boring.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, but it was fine otherwise.
Without my roguish good looks, grit, and toughness and Jake's kind of clown energy, it had to be pretty stale in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You just have Taylor like yelling at you obscure cowboy facts and cap numbers.
And I'm like, dude, I literally don't care.
Yeah, and he's like, well, look, but if we restructure this guy, then look, then finally we can make sense of the Dak Prescott and get his contract out of here.
I hadn't heard from Taylor the entire time we were in Mobile, not one time. And then I said Dak's name on air in a positive light, and immediately we got a text.
Yeah. You know that Taylor too was. Taylor's always bursting at the seams with takes, which I appreciate. So having to be silenced in the way that he was for these last 4 days had to be rough. How are we feeling, Taylor?
We're good, guys. You know, the last couple of days, there was a hole in my heart.
Yeah.
Something was missing.
Yeah.
And it's been filled today due to the joy that I have that you guys are back in studio. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you guys are here.
I will fill you up, Taylor. Anytime you ask me to, just know that I am here for you. I don't know that I can extend you the same offer, Alondra, without incurring an HR violation. In fact, to be frank, it's probably an HR violation either way.
Yeah.
But So what did y'all, like, okay, we go to break. What did y'all talk about? Because it's just you two. It's just you two in this room, 3 hours a morning, completely alone. How was that?
We didn't talk. Alondra pretty much just gave me ugly looks the whole time, as you would expect.
And he would try to talk, and I'd be like, dude, just shut up. I literally don't want to talk to you right now.
I'm not in the mood. It's too early.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Alondra, are you a morning person? Apparently not. So,
no, to be honest, though, there was like one day that he came in, I think he was like, hey, like all hyped up. And I was like, hey, like whatever. And he was like, I'm going to need a little more energy from you.
Yeah,
I was like,
Wednesday. That was Wednesday.
I'm like, that's all
Wednesday
you're going to
was a
get
bad
from
day.
me today.
Hey, look, I believe in, I believe in a couple of things. I believe in
A thing called love?
Yes, I believe, well, I guess three things now.
Yep.
I also believe, I believe in, look, being upfront about how you're feeling that day. But if it's nothing too serious, then I've always been a big fan of the fake it till you make it attitude. It's how I used to get hyped up to go do workouts that I didn't really want to do, just literally act excited until you're eventually in it and you're just, well, kind of into it. Jake, how you feeling? Got back home last night. Everything all good?
Yeah, it was great. Got a chance to see 4 of the 5 kiddos. Harlow didn't quite make it. You and I got home around 9:30 or so. So it was nice to see the kiddos. We actually watched a little bit of the new Wonka movie until it was their bedtime. They couldn't stay up any later.
You know how I feel about Chalamet.
I ear hustled you a little bit on Snaps yesterday, and I certainly know how you feel about him. That we can't say anything about how you feel about him here on this show.
Tiny little babe, isn't he?
But
good looking.
If you want to hear his recap, he was on Snaps yesterday with Chris Doring, so you can imagine.
Yeah. We had a little Timothy Chalamet, Sam Hartman comparison.
I'm gonna go Sam Hartman on that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you during the break what I said, though, and I think the reason why the two were interplaying with one another will make a bit more sense. How was Wonka, though?
It's like 15 minutes of it. Not the 15 minutes I watched.
Did it review well? Because I've kind of vacillated throughout this whole Wonka preview process, where at first I thought it was a terrible idea. Then I was kind of coming around on it. So it's already out of theaters? God, we're getting old. Time's moving fast.
Well, everything comes a little bit quicker. I didn't think it got released yet, dude. 7.2 on IMDb,
okay.
So maybe I'll continue watching.
Pretty damn good right there, Bo. Look, I think we had a really cool show for you today. Jake had a great sit-down with Brian Kelly yesterday at the Senior Bowl that we're going to give you here in hour number 1. We'll recap Terry Bussey's visit to LSU yesterday, the final potential piece of this very good 2024 class, which we talked about yesterday. You got Pels Spurs tonight. The Pels finally going to try to get it done on a Friday night. We'll talk to LSU head baseball coach for the first time yet in this new season at 9 a.m. in hour number 3. And we got our guy Jay Clark from the LSU gymnastics team coming on at 8:15. Also, all NFL coaching spots now filled. And Bill Belichick, nowhere to be found amongst that list. I've been saying 15 wins away from the all-time record, dude.
Does that tarnish him being considered the greatest of all time at all to you? The fact that there was that many head job openings and availabilities, and the guy that a lot of us consider to be the best maybe to ever do it didn't get one of those?
No, because...
And he wanted to get one of those?
I think in the story, and sorry, I'm dealing with like allergies or cold or something. I can't quite figure it out. But in the legacy reflection of Bill Belichick, him not getting a job is a footnote compared to the post-Brady record, right? Like the thing, if you want to talk about tarnishing, the thing that people will talk about when it comes to stuff like that is what did he do post-Tom Brady? And I don't know enough about Shula is the all-time, right?
Yes.
Don Shula is the all-time winningest coach. I don't know enough about how he spanned quarterbacks, and honestly, it's a different era. It was a bit easier to team build back then. You didn't have free agency, and so you basically owned guys. You had them locked up, and you could keep them for as long and as cheap as you wanted. So he had some inherent advantages, certainly. But to me, that's kind of the discussion with Bill, more than not getting a job here. I mean, honestly, from the reporting that I've read, it seems like, imagine this, an old man being stubborn. It seems like a little bit of stubbornness, kind of, is because he didn't want to relinquish front office control when the front office moves have been a bit of a disaster
out
of him as of late. And if he had gone in there and been like, no, look, I just want to coach, because apparently Atlanta was his only real suitor, and Arthur Blank liked him, but I think I read the quote was described as frosty, the relationship between Belichick and the Falcons front office.
Yeah, and if he didn't want to give that up, right, I don't know that he's ever going to find another job, because like you look at his draft history over the last couple of years, he's tried to be the smartest guy in the room, and it just has not worked out for him. In fact, like I can't really think of a player that it's worked out. You know what I'm saying? Like look at his draft choices, and they've just been really bad. And you could go through like 3 full drafts where you're trying to search for a player that really moves the needle for you. That's not good, including quarterback. which is always going to be the biggest miss when you miss on it.
So, yeah, I mean, geez. I know hindsight's 2020 and whatnot, and Mac Jones played awesome in that 2020 year, but it was in quite a quarterback-friendly setting in that 2020 year when you look at the weapons, everything he was playing behind, how good that Alabama team was, and looks like he came back to earth finally. All right, let's do this then. Let's go to break. Let's go to break on time, I should say, right now. And when we get back, let's dive into the Derek Carr news from yesterday. I have my gum in my mouth. I am ready to smack away and take away on Derek Carr. You're supposed to chew gum when you talk about him. Keep it locked right here. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. You need somebody who's going to fight for you. If you get in an accident, get you what you deserve. You already know the answer is Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. And it's not just 225. Any area code in Louisiana plus the 8s, that's going to get you in touch with the Gordon McKernan injury attorneys. And, well, you're the experts. If you follow them on social media at Get Gordon, there's always like great giveaways going on. You stay up to date with some really cool news. If you're a pickleball fan, you should go check it out. You see content from your favorite athletes, members of the G team, and you learn what to do, like what steps to take to protect yourself when an accident happens. Get Gordon. Get it done today.
Go to their website, getgordon.com. You can see everything they can do for you in the courtroom, past client results, cases they can handle for you on social media. If you want to see what they're doing in the community, at Get Gordon is the handle there, right? So do it in the courtroom, in the community. If you want to give them a call, it is your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888. Getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join MMR and ignite your career today. MMR is the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, and they're seeking talented individuals to join their team. For over 3 decades, they've been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, and they have offices all around the globe.
And MMR offers a tailored path for both professional and personal development, outstanding benefits, and a dynamic culture. So whether you're an intern, a seasoned pro, or you're just starting out, see what MMR can offer you. Apply at mmrgrp.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks.
Join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Corks. Derek Carr's contract being restructured. We're talking about it. LSU and Arkansas on the hardwood and some baseball talk. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Hour 1 rolling right along here. Glad to be back in the studio. Please hit the like button. Share it with your friends. It's Groundhog Day. I don't think I knew it was Groundhog Day. Is it always on the second, or is it like first Friday or something? Like, what are we talking about here?
It's probably the first Friday. But
first Friday of February?
More importantly than that, shout out to Brian Burgess. He put in the Bayou 4 chat that it's National Tater Tot Day as well.
Oh, my God.
Got to make a trip to Sonic or something.
You should have worn your Napoleon Dynamite costume,
have.
dummy.
Well, it doesn't say, it's not the tot one, it's the Pedro one. But yeah, it still works.
Well, no, but yeah, I'm saying, but Napoleon Dynamite and tater tots
Like
are
hand in
synonymous.
hand, yeah.
They
I
go,
didn't know
they
till
go,
I
they
got
go
here.
on with one another.
It's on the 2nd of every year.
Okay.
That's
Egotter
it.
says that Puxatawny Phil didn't. Oh, it's second every year.
That's what it says.
Egotter says Phil did not see his shadow. So early spring is coming. Kind of feels like early spring, dude. Felt incredible in Mobile.
The best
all
week of
long.
Mobile weather, without
I don't
question.
know what it's been like back here. Okay, so now we're going to
similar.
later in the show have to have a discussion about the excellent movie Groundhog Day and the implications of whether or not Bill Murray is a god and the great job that Harold
In
Ramis
real
did.
life, I hold him in pretty high regard.
Yes, that's
So,
true. Functionally,
Bill Murray fans, thumbs up, thumbs
Yes.
down. Okay,
Yeah.
thumbs up. Landra?
Yeah, thumbs up.
Okay.
I don't
got a
think-
thumbs up back here.
I don't think anybody. I mean, find me the person who's like, no, I don't enjoy Bill Murray. I really think you would have to reach. Out of 100, you might be talking to one.
You got to be hateful for sure.
You just, I mean, I
I
don't
would
understand.
probably like reflex just straight punch.
You can not like roles. You can not like maybe there's some drama or something that I don't know about that you don't like about him. But I mean, at some point you've enjoyed some of Bill Murray's work, certainly. I don't know if you've enjoyed Derek Carr's work quite as much, but well, guess what?
Ew.
You got at least 2 more years of him. I'll put away the gum now. But Mickey Loomis and the New Orleans Saints restructuring Derek Carr's contract. And as it was currently, if you had just kept the contract as it was and you had gone and worked through these cap problems with restructures on the rest of the roster, Jake, you could have gotten out of the Derek Carr deal after this season with a really small financial penalty. The Saints, however, are going to convert much of this year's salary into signing bonus, probably tack on a void year at the end, as they are wont to do. And what it means is essentially it makes you unmovable, because if you were to get moved, you would be counting for so much money on the books for, while not playing for the team, that it would just be pointless to do so. I would remind you that this is the first of many moves that are going to feel like this. I told you this 2 days ago, right? Whether, like, it doesn't matter if you agreed or disagreed with the core idea that Derek Carr is the guy going forward. Everything the Saints have told you, everything, they're not lying about any of this. Everything they told you, everything they've done has been saying, no, we believe in DA, we believe in Derek Carr, and we think the way to make it work is to fully commit to it. And this is in keeping with that. So, and I said at the time, like, what that means is they're going to make moves that may frustrate you because you like they're going. Their guiding light is a light that you disagree with just fundamentally. But yeah, Derek Carr now going to be your Saints quarterback for at least 2 more years.
That is quite the news. He is a player that, and I do want to give him credit for at the end of the season, I do think he got better, but a player that's been in the league this long, like, should we really get that excited about a player that improved over a season? And you can say he's in a new landing spot. I do understand that. But when you're a veteran player, like, that's not going to be an excuse in the NFL. And it is a bold move. And you have a lot of moves that have to be made to get under the cap, and they will get under the cap. We know the Saints are as good as anybody at doing so. This is one of those moves. But you are now going to be tied to Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You are going to go as he goes, right? And so
yes.
If you're Dennis Allen, you realize, because it is what it is, this is the last opportunity you have to prove yourself. And you are hitching your wagon to a guy that you're very familiar with. Seems like you really like his skill set on the field because you've had him now in 2 different spots. You drafted him once, and now you've signed him again. So you like his game. Well, just know that his game is now attached to your job security and the last opportunity that you will ever get to be a head coach in the NFL.
Yeah,
this is the last chance.
Hurrah.
You have not done enough in either spot to be able to get a third chance at being an NFL head coach.
So that's kind of the interesting part to me, though, is that if you're DA, this all makes sense, taking this chance with Carr. It's more of Mickey Loomis in the front office that needs to be examined here. Because, like, you can't find a rookie quarterback, at least, Jake, it's very unlikely, right, that you would find a rookie quarterback that would give you a better chance to win than with Derek Carr immediately this year. Long term, sure, maybe. But Dennis Allen doesn't have that luxury. You know who does have that luxury? Mickey Loomis. The guy who is a pseudo-owner of the New Orleans Saints, who will never get fired, who is in the power circle, right? And so that's why this is kind of intriguing, is that Loomis could have easily said, okay, no, you know what? Carr, this is your prove it year. DA, this is your prove it year. And if it doesn't work, well, then we're going to hit complete reset. Now it's an odd place where it's like, Carr, you're cool for a little bit. DA, this is your prove it year. So what happens if it goes badly? Then you stick with Carr and you go get a new head coach. And maybe that's not the worst thing. I mean, I guess you could then finally take a quarterback perhaps in the first round, and then he gets to sit for at least a year before he has to play. But it's odd that the timelines now for the DA and DC piece, Derek Carr, they don't really line up.
Right.
And that Derek Carr now has a long-term stability that Dennis Allen does not. Or at least we assume he does. For sure this has to be the year for Dennis Allen where it's playoffs or bust.
If not, he's got information on somebody that is pretty damning. So this is going to cause, obviously, dominoes on your roster. Mike Thomas can't come back to this team.
Well, yeah, but he was never coming back.
Right, but, I mean, surely, he's not now.
No.
I mean, okay, so that's one. Offensive line has to be fixed because Derek Carr is not great in the pocket and avoiding the rush, so you got to have a solidified offensive line. Okay, so that's going to be some more moves there. What do you do at the running back position? Very interesting room. You signed Jamal Williams. He was the leader in touchdowns in the NFL at 17. He gets 1 on a play that caused a lot of controversy.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that. I mean, I don't know what we got to examine that deal because the Jamal Williams thing, again, from a team building hindsight, doesn't make any sense. You have Taysom Hill. You have Taysom Hill for those situations.
You drafted Kendra Miller in the 3rd round. All right, AK, where's he at right now mentally? What's his mindset? He's not being utilized like he should be. What does he want to do? So, I mean, this is going to cause ripple effects in your roster. This isn't just one move. And you had to make multiple moves to get under the cap. We understand that. But there's going to be some people that when they see Derek Carr is going to be there for 2 more years, right, wrong, or indifferent, are going to have to make decisions.
Yeah. I will say that, so I think the move, he's carrying a little over a $30 million cap hit. This move, if they wanted to get it all the way down to 14. So the relief will be somewhere in that range. He got her in the chat saying that Saints talk bums me out. I'm so apathetic towards them. And that's why this year is so important for the New Orleans Saints because joy is obviously the best. Anger isn't bad, right? Anger can be good for, it's not the worst thing because at least people still care. Apathy is when you get into trouble. When you see the Superdome with thousands of empty seats.
Or other teams' fans.
Yeah, when you see the Superdome selling their tickets to Detroit Lion fans. When the Saints lose and people just kind of throw up their hands and say, well, yeah, you know, I mean, it's kind of, that's when things get a little scary. And so there is definite apathy setting in after now really 3 years in a row of just middling results. And that has got to be goal number one is to fix it. And again, I'm you know, because I'm an idiot and I'm an optimist. And I look at how they finished the season, and I think there's more chance for this to succeed than people maybe give it credit for. More of a chance. But again, I'm going to force myself to remain on this stance that I'm not going to expect it to succeed until they prove it. But like, I'm sure they are aware of all these different elements and everything that is on the line as they go into this year. And now the OC is going to be huge. The OC is going to be huge. Modernizing this offense, bringing it into the new era of offensive philosophy. Can they take advantage of the weapons? Because you know there is a it's probably on the edge of the range, Jake, but there is a potential for a situation where the new OC is really damn good and can take advantage of these weapons, put the offensive line in better positions to succeed like they already did at the end of the year. And maybe Derek Carr has one of the best years of his career.
Not a rhetorical question here, but can you get that guy this late?
I'm not as worried about the timing because I think like Kubiak would be a perfect hire from San Fran. I mean, he's already passing game coordinator. He's from the Shanahan tree. He's called plays in the NFL for 2 years before. So yeah, I'm not overly concerned about the timing in terms of.
What if it's not Kubiak? Does that make you feel different? Because if it's not him, and you go in house in Curry, and you go hire the former Bears offensive coordinator, does that change your opinion?
I feel bad for Curry. In-house feels a bit odd because it feels like you have the stink of Carmichael on you. And that's not, and again, that's kind of mean to say to Pete. And I wanted to really highlight what Carmichael gave to this franchise and how long he gave it to them. But like, I mean, even Sean Payton's offensive philosophy, right? That's where Carmichael comes from. It all seems a bit behind the curve right now. And that's kind of what Curry's come up in. Now, maybe Curry, I'm not in those meeting rooms, right? Maybe Curry wanted to do things way differently, but wasn't allowed to.
You know, like a la, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Steve Ensminger, when he was tight ends coach at LSU, and he's sitting there like, what are we running again?
Or like, here's a deep cut for the LSU fans, but like Durante Jones pre-Alabama game, where he was not allowed to run his system, and then finally he's allowed to run cover zero and
to him
crazy.
For about 15, 20 minutes about that very thing this weekend, or this week.
So that does exist. But the problem is, even when I say I'm cool with Kubiak, like, I'm not grinding OC film. They're position coaches, right? Mm-hmm. Like I can't tell you whether or not they're going to be great.
No.
So in that, if it's like Schrodinger's coach, and I don't actually know if he's good or bad until I get eyes on it, I'm not the timing of it doesn't mess with me. I'm not actually concerned about them taking their time. The one thing I'm maybe a little bit like that's not ideal is again Dennis Allen not able to be in Mobile, Jeff Ireland in Mobile scouting, but not exactly knowing, like you talked about, OC has the 10 things, and then we're going to evaluate players based on the 10 things. So you haven't been able to tailor your draft process, but there's still a lot of draft prep left to go. And there's still the combine, there's still plenty of pro days. So, no, I'm not overly concerned about the timing, actually. But Derek Carr going to be here.
I'm a little nervous about it. I'm a little nervous about it just because there's things that are already set in motion that whoever it is, unless it's Ronald Curry, and even him, I mean, have not really been a part of together. Like down in Mobile, I would have loved to have the Saints have an offensive staff together. They're there. They're talking players. Who is your winner? Who is your loser? What do you think of him? And, yeah, you can watch tape. And Jim Nagy told me yesterday, like, and he was a scout way before he's with the Senior Bowl. He's like, the Senior Bowl game is the tape that gets worn out the most in the draft process.
Really? Even more so than the practices?
Even more so than the practices.
Oh, wow.
He said just because everybody leaves doesn't mean the game doesn't mean anything. They've seen practice and they know they're going to get every game tape angle that they want.
Yeah.
And so they grind the game tape of the Senior Bowl, right? And so it's just like you would have liked to have them there together to be able to talk about those things, get the game tape. Hey, remember Tuesday's practice, man? We saw that guy put his foot in the ground, go north-south, whatever situation might be. So I am a little bit worried about the timing. If it is Kubiak, that makes all the sense in the world because well, he can't coach you right now. He's worried about the San Francisco 49ers and winning a Super Bowl.
No, and Saints OC did not end up getting named yesterday like I heard that it might. Weisenhower in Mobile, what's he doing from the Bayou Ford chat? He is interviewing OCs. So that's what they are, which would maybe speak to a non-Kubiak, right? Like if you already had like a gentleman's agreement in place, then maybe you'd already be down there. So there's a lot of moving parts to all of this. I still think that what I'm more interested in, you bring in the new OC, but your defensive-minded head coach, where are you going to commit the draft resources to this year? Because on one hand, you know DA wants a fresh edge rusher. You know he wants a cornerback. But on the other hand, you also know that they're all in on Derek Carr and making Derek Carr work, which means maybe offensive lineman, and maybe also, an additional weapon of sorts.
T, how about you try to get something out of Isaiah Foskey, who you drafted in the second round last year at edge rusher?
Well, you won't try.
Because you wanted to get faster. He could barely get dressed for games this year. He was barely active.
You're going to try, but, whether or not you'll do remains to be seen. Even though, again, I'm an optimist, so, take this with a grain of salt. But, again, I do think it's interesting. Someone like Trevor Penning, you look at Jordan Love, and sometimes we just don't give guys time on this level to develop. Not everybody's ready to play right away. Now, it's not normally as bad as being not even in on jumbo package, and I don't think he'll ever reach the heights of like a first-round pick like you expect. But again, all we're looking – actually, I'm not even looking for a viable starter. I'm just looking for a viable role at this point. Even if you could be a legitimate swing guy because you're going to deal with injuries, like whatever, just any set of improvement I'm looking for in Penning. So we will see with the Saints. A lot of moving parts, a lot of unknowns. One thing that is known, Derek Carr going to be your quarterback for the next 2 years. All right, when we get back, let's get to some of these Ryan Grubb rumors. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. Take advantage of 50 years of experience. Take advantage of flat rate pricing, licensed, bond, and insured employees. You get bios in ahead of time so you know exactly who's coming into your home. Take advantage of Central Plumbing, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
Go to the website, centralplumbing.org, and check out the things we tell you about every single day. If you're looking to remodel your bathroom at home, it can be your main bathroom, guest bathroom, every bathroom. Does not matter. Obviously, they can handle that. And if you're looking to upgrade that restroom at your business, doesn't matter how big your business is, doesn't matter how many restrooms you have, they can come in and completely give you a new look. And if you do have that emergency, 24/7 also means 365, no matter when it is, holiday, big game day, they will be there. 225-925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few...
Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Brian Kelly met with reporters at the Senior Bowl. We'll let you know what the coach had to say. And the Riot Radio Hour is returned, talking some LSU baseball. 3 to 6, 104.5, ESPN Baton Rouge.
He resides in College Park, right? But for right now, what we gotta do for y'all, what we gonna do? We gotta give y'all a hit.
Damn near every day. Ask a million questions like Jock, where you stay? Tell them College Park, where the chop cars. Hit 20 grand, spend a grand at the bar.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Alondra, can I get a year on this song? Because this just brought back like some core memories.
I gotta look it up.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like 05, 06.
Yeah, it feels
is.
Like peak.
I remember when Young
college
Jock
time.
was big. They filmed a Young Jock music video at my friend's house.
In Atlanta?
Yes, and this guy was like...
you should have said no, Lake Beaupre.
Yeah. No, this guy was... this was a very wealthy family, right? So, I mean, they had a kind of crazy setup. They had a family compound where all their siblings had like 4 mansions on a giant compound that was all interconnected. But Young Jock filmed a video there and had MTV making the video there and was just acting like it was his house. which I thought was very funny. And we got to be in the background of the music video, but it didn't actually make the music video.
Okay.
Dang, I was about to go looking.
No, just a couple of but I do remember.
2006.
I was.
2006. There you go, Taylor.
You know me. I was just enthralled by the video vixens on site.
You?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And some guy tried to rook me by gouging me on some purchases potentially, and even then, at least I was smart enough to be like, "Bro,
What were you purchasing?
Snacks,
medicine."
Oh, okay.
And yeah, snacks.
You were a bit under the
kind
weather.
Of similar, yes. And he thought he was going to take
medicine
advantage
that made
of a
you
little
want a snack.
Yeah.
Suburban white boy, which to be fair, it's because I gotten taken advantage of before. That maybe had me a bit more experience.
He was like, I've heard about this guy. He's a sucker.
Chew. Video vixens. Hey, wait. So I would love if this would happen because once again, my favorite part of the Nick Saban fallout is bathing in Alabama fans' tears. But the rumors are that Ryan Grubb, Alabama offensive coordinator, very good friend of Kalen DeBoer. When we talked to Michael Penix Jr. this week, he was talking about how those two are basically like brothers. and how well that they work together. They were paying him a ton of money. I remember Kalen DeBoer, when he was at Washington, took a pay cut just to juice up Grubb's numbers. I'm sure he did similar in Alabama. Well, might be a short stay in Tuscaloosa for Ryan Grubb, as reportedly Mike McDonald, the new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, who, of course, is now the youngest coach in the NFL, 36 years old, just came over from the Baltimore Ravens. I meant to get into it yesterday. We can get into Mike McDonald's resume in a second because it is a meteoric rise. But he is reportedly targeting Ryan Grubb to be the Seahawks OC. And if offered, right, like I have no doubt in my mind, Jake, if offered, Ryan Grubb will go. He's 47, but he's never gotten a coach in the NFL.
Right.
He's done very good in college, accomplished a lot of great things in college. Going to the NFL for him just at 47 would be awesome because you finally made it to the big leagues, to the show. But it also goes back to what we said yesterday. If you are offered a similar or same position in the league that you have in college, you are 100% going to go now. Now, I'm not panicking about what that does to college football because there's just not that many jobs available. But, like, if offered, Ryan Grubb will not be the Alabama OC.
I would be very surprised. And at some point, I'm sure, even though him and Kalen DeBoer are boys, like, hey, man, I'm going to do my own thing. Wow. And he wanted the Washington job. Like, he wanted that job, didn't get that opportunity. So, well, yeah, surely he's going to follow his guy to Alabama. You know, I mean, there's not a better situation for him. I mean, you're going to follow.
Probably making over $2 million.
Yeah, he was already.
Yeah,
remember, I mean, we were talking about DeBoer only making like $4.5 million, and Grubb was making $2 million because DeBoer's like, I'll take less for my assistants to make more. So no telling what he was going to end up making or what he is making, but it makes a lot of sense. He's very familiar with that part of the country, so obviously he knows already like what the dynamics of it already are and in place, and so he would have a chance to go prove himself away from Kalen DeBoer, and I'm sure that means a lot to a Ryan Grubb. And his offenses are incredible. I love, man, I mean, you talk about finding ways to get to what you want to run, dictating the pace of the game. That's harder to do on offense than it is defense, but he was going to find a way to get to those bunch sets that he wanted to get to. He was going to find a way to get to 2x2 and not allow you to bracket one of his receivers because, like, hey, you want to take away Rome Odunze? All right, I'll do this to make you say, you know what, I can't just do that anymore. So I think he's incredible. And I would be all for him going to the NFL and getting out of the SEC. And he's not going to be the only. I mean, Liam Cohen, reports are the Buccaneers are set to hire him from Kentucky to be their offensive coordinator. So these NFL teams are going and they're diving into college football to try to get some of the things that they've seen on tape. Now, Liam Cohen's been in the NFL with the Rams before, but you're starting to see the NFL realize the value of some of the schemes that they're seeing in college.
Liam Cohen needs to make up his mind, you know. He's a little frisky. He's a little loose. You know, he's a little all over the place between college and the NFL.
It's always bounced back between the Rams and Kentucky.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Rams, Kentucky, Rams, Kentucky. So I guess he's trying to get away. So he was with Baker Mayfield for a little bit there with the Rams, and that would maybe help them sign Baker back in Tampa.
So look, now as far as Alabama's concerned, I still think that like when they attracted Tommy Rees there, they should be able to pretty much get the pick of the litter when it comes to who they would have replace at OC. But that said, you don't know how DeBoer and that person will work together, how they jive together. There's still interesting questions about DeBoer post-Penix. In that while he has that unbelievable resume at the Power 5 level, his success has always been with Michael Penix Jr. at his side, whether it's at Indiana or at Washington. And so, like, even if you get you're going to get probably, again, who you want in Alabama, but how will it be on that? I'm still, it remains to be seen. I would love it, though. I feel like this hurts Alabama. And if it hurts Alabama, that makes me happy. And good for Ryan Grubb, finally getting a chance in the NFL if this indeed comes to pass.
Yeah, I wonder how many coordinators are going to start to go from the college ranks to the NFL. Not even head coach. We talk about head coaches, but head coaches in college they don't call plays anymore, right? So it's a different job now than it used to be. Like your top head coaches were still coordinators, like Coach Saban called his defense for a long time.
Yeah.
Ryan Day called his offense. Steve Sarkisian still does, and he's one of the few ones that actually still goes out there and calls plays. Dabo never really did it, but they're kind of getting away. I'm trying to think of a top coach that still does it outside of Sarkisian. I mean, Lincoln Riley, but do we consider him?
Lane doesn't?
Lane's had OCs like I grew up in the. No, I mean I don't think he does. Wow. I mean I think he's heavily involved, but I don't think he's necessarily the only play caller.
Dude, if you're Mike McDonald for the Ravens, how about this? In 2010, you were in your first year as a GA at Georgia. He was a high school football coach for his final 2 years in college. So this dude knew he wanted to coach. Comes a GA at Georgia. He's a quality control assistant for the Ravens for 3 years. Then he was a coaching intern in 2014. I guess he did that for a while. 2020, he becomes the linebackers coach. Then he goes and he's Jim Harbaugh's DC at Michigan, leaves after 1 year to become John Harbaugh's DC at Baltimore, and now 2 years later, is now the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Pretty incredible stuff there. 36
One of those ones that you could tell even 3-4 years ago, it was a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, and the Ravens number 1 in DVOA defensive rankings, which just adjusts for quality of opponents. So makes sense.
We got a comment inside the chat that I think is actually pretty fair, and I'm thinking of 2 different levels. Has any Super Bowl winning head coach retired with less fanfare than Pete Carroll? It's national championship winning head coach Pete Carroll, and he got cucked.
Yeah, he did by Nick Saban. I mean, the timing of it was. I mean, the Belichick fanfare hasn't been great.
Saban was the biggest of the 3.
To be fair, Belichick, I guess, didn't retire though. He's still out there looking for jobs.
Right, but I mean, he left a place that he had been for over 2 decades and won more Super Bowls than anybody. Saban of the 3 stole the headline.
Yeah, and it probably has a bit to do with our region somewhat.
Well, these TVs were on during that too, and
no doubt.
We saw more Saban than we saw either of the 2, and that was obviously national ESPN.
Very true. It's a good point by Jack Corman in the Bayou Ford chat. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up hour 1 of OTB, and then we're going to kick off hour 2 with Brian Kelly. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction. You want the most reliable and the most respected roofing company in Louisiana. You want Coleman Roofing and Construction. They're also the most complete, and that's because they do everything, right? It's and I mean that in a couple of different ways. First off, whatever type of roof you need, like terracotta, shingle, slate, whatever the case is, they have certified installers for all of it. The size of the project. Anything residential, anything commercial, okay? They handle those. Again, the geographical area in which they service, complete all of Louisiana and the Gulf South region. And then finally, the interior as well. So if you have damage to your drywall, insulation, anything like that in this recent bout of storms, you want to go check out Coleman Roofing and Construction, the most complete roof company in Louisiana.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Join MMR and ignite your career today. MMR is the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, and they're seeking talented individuals to join their team. For over 3 decades, they've been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, and they have offices all around the globe.
And MMR offers a tailored path for both professional and personal development, outstanding benefits, and a dynamic culture. So whether you're an intern, a seasoned pro, or you're just starting out, see what MMR can offer you. Apply at mmrgrp.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Now walk it out. Southern style DJ. DJ Montana Trap. DJ walk it out. We at it again, baby. Northside walk it out. Here we go. Now walk it out. 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 Now walk it out.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Oh, let's go, Gray Bear. I'm going to the river to catch me some catfish. Wish you some luck. I'm going to listen to radio. Heck yeah, man. Sounds great. Fishing, listening to OTB, getting ready for the weekend, fry up that catfish. Hell yeah. Sounds like a great day, dude. I hope you slay them. And if you turn your nose up at catfish,
oh, you ain't team OTB.
yeah, you're a loser. I didn't have anything very creative there, but you get the point. Catfish are delicious. Don't be that person. Look at this, dude. Somebody just sent me a picture of Mark Wahlberg driving in his minivan, murdered out. Black exterior, black interior, black wheels. I mean, boys, I don't want to say I'm a trendsetter, okay? But even Mark Wahlberg now driving the murdered out Mini. Shout out All-Star Toyota. All right, so coming up on hour 2, we have a really good sit down with Brian Kelly that Jake did. That we're going to play that right at 8 a.m. That's going to be about 17 minutes. Then we're going to break, and then we got Jay Clark from the LSU gymnastics team coming on. Coach Clark. We're going to start doing this every Friday. If you haven't been, again, I got to go to the Kentucky meet a couple of weeks ago. I'm hoping to get back tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but it's electric. Cannot recommend it enough. You will have so much fun. It's nonstop action, and we'll talk to Coach Jay about that. We'll still talk about these coaching hires. Jake, one thing I was interested to see, and granted, we haven't been able to get eyes on practice 1 as much when we were in Mobile because of doing OTB. But we may have been off in our personal talk about Bo Nix compared to what some of the hive mind is. I know he struggled early, right? But the latest reporting that I've seen is that Nix actually has come on quite strong, and Matt Miller going on to say that he thinks that Nix has certified himself ahead of Michael Penix and could be a top 15 draft pick saying it's, quote, not out of the question. That's crazy. Now, a lot of this was because of yesterday's practice.
Yes, it was yesterday's practice. My brother-in-law was at practice yesterday, and we went to the first one. And I was like, hey, what'd you see? And he's like, yeah, Bo Nix had a really good day. Made a couple of really nice throws there at the end. It was a condensed day. So it was a red zone day. It was a 2-minute day. It was a third down day. And so he had his best day. Now, I can't forget the other days. Right?
Yeah.
Those days still stick out in my mind. I still think Michael Penix Jr. is a better pro than Bo Nix. I'm not going to allow, the red zone period to really change that. But at least he did come back and have a better showing than he did. Because I'll be honest with you, like his arm talent on some of these deep balls it
looked really bad.
Far lacking what I thought it could be.
Yeah.
And so, when the field condensed, he looked better because the throws were 12 to 15 yards.
Now, it should be noted, Miller would go on to say, quote, if you watch the morning practice today, Bo Nix and Michael Penix looked like real deal NFL starters. I'm walking away believing both could be starting next year in the pros. I have Nix in the round 1 mix, and Penix is right behind him in the early parts of day 2. So I think, again, the only thing hurting Penix are the ACLs and the shoulders. Which sucks because none of that happened at Washington. It was just at Indiana, but it is what it is. But Bo Nix, just want to be clear about that, so you don't think we're off base. Bo Nix doing well for himself yesterday. Okay, Brian Kelly coming up to kick off hour 2.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 Black Widow trucks, $20,000 off new Ram 1500 trucks, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques, Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Friday, February 2nd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 72. In hour 2 of today's show, you'll hear a sit-down with Brian Kelly at the top of the hour, and LSU gymnastics coach Jay Clark joins us at 8:15. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, or watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So yesterday in Mobile, Alabama, Brian Kelly was on the scene, and Jake and the SiriusXM crew, thank you to Off Campus for letting us use this. Jake and Chris Doreen got to sit down with BK for quite a while. Here it is in its entirety, Brian Kelly and Jake.
We are live here at the Senior Bowl, Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama, and very excited for our next interview. We're going to catch up with the LSU head coach, Brian Kelly.
This is radio, all right? So you have to, tell everybody who's talking. But, I feel if we were on television, everybody knows this guy. He's got a swag when he walks around. He doesn't have to wear one of these little,
no lanyards.
I had to wear a wristband. I thought I was underage drinking or something.
Coach, full honesty, did you recognize Chris Doring out of costume?
Chris is so handsome and debonair.
Yeah.
You just there's not many guys like him.
The LSU folks run that joke. I guess it's not a joke at this point in time. I've lost 5 straight bets to Peter Burns. I've dressed as a turkey, a clown, a baseball player. I mean, it's become like routine every year that I'm dressing up.
Listen, I would just keep betting because it's going to have to change.
Yeah, right? It's going to be red on the roulette wheel eventually.
Exactly. Or it's going to keep coming up green.
Yeah, that's true.
And that means it's a tie.
Uh-huh.
Nobody wants a tie.
Oh, no question about that. Coach, earlier this week, we had a chance. Blake Baker was here. He was recruiting. Jake Olson was here recruiting with him, and it was good to see them again. Obviously, being at LSU, everybody on defense that you brought in, it's been remarkable. I mean, it's been a who's who of defensive staff, but also having those Louisiana LSU ties so they can really hit the ground running.
Well, certainly that's part of it, but these are really good football coaches. Yeah. They're teachers. They're leaders of men, and at the end of the day, this is about how we could put together the best staff that incorporates developing our players, retaining our players, and then obviously, on Saturdays, winning football games. So there's a lot that goes into that. I'm excited about our staff, and I think that at the end of the day, when we talk about putting together a staff, you have to have all of those ingredients. It can't just be one.
There's a lot that goes into your job and the responsibilities as well. We were talking to you before we went on the air. You just ripped off all these Louisiana cities that you're visiting over the next couple of days. How's the acclimation to this part of the country and the state of Louisiana been over the last 2 years for you?
Well, I think it goes to the staff that I've put together. When you have a guy like Frank Wilson, when you have a guy like Cortez Hankton that knows the area, Joe Sloan that is from that area, J.R. Belton who runs our recruiting, who's from, obviously the West Monroe area, makes it so easy for me to really get acclimated to the state. And so now going on to year 3 in the recruiting, I know it very well. And we're in the right areas. Obviously, we've done well in the recruiting thing, the rankings. Those are one thing. But I think more than anything else is is my face in a school consecutive years is what we really wanted to do. And I don't know that was the case, whether it be East Ascension High School in the south of the city or being up in Reston High School up in the north part of the state. I think that those are the important things, the consistency of me being on the road in Louisiana. And I think having a staff that clearly understands that has really helped us make headway in the state.
You can tell it's a point of emphasis to go throughout the state of Louisiana. Look, I'm from North Louisiana, and that's a part of the state that I always felt like, okay, well, wish LSU could be in here a little bit more. And you can tell you and your staff have said, you know what, we're going to go corner to corner everywhere in Louisiana, and like even coming up in some of these cycles, like you can tell like it's been a point of emphasis to attack the entire state.
Well, we've got a young man that's on campus right now from Ruston. We've got a guy from Manny High School. I mean, look, I could give you every corner of the state of Louisiana, and I think that really should be enough for us to understand that it doesn't matter where you are in this state. You better know where the really good players are, and you have to be able to stay vigilant in that regard. And I think there might have been years where we said, we're LSU, they'll come to us.
Right.
Our mindset is, we better be, as the flagship university, we better know where they are. And so that has been the charge for our personnel department, is find them when they're freshmen and sophomores, so we know that we're going to recruit them as well as anybody else. And look, I think we all know this. If we do a good job recruiting the state of Louisiana, we got a great chance of getting them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're seeing here over the last couple of cycles.
Yeah, I love the loyalty amongst the state of Louisiana, the LSU brand being the top brand when it comes to college athletics in that state. One thing we've known of LSU forever is the DBU kind of title, and that was certainly not the case this year. You go back and bring Corey Raymond back into the fold, which I think is a perfect fit. What are we doing in the back end to help make that look a little bit more like the defenses that I know you want to have and that traditionally LSU has been able to field?
Experience. It was a young group. I think it starts with just getting experience back there. We have 19 scholarship players at the corner and safety position, and many people have said, well, why didn't you take transfers? Why didn't you bring in people from other programs? Sooner or later, you have to have faith in your own evaluation of who you brought into your program and your ability to develop. Or what are you doing? We get paid a lot of money. And so if we can't evaluate and if we can't develop, why is the grass always greener on the other side?
Yeah.
We have to develop our players. So what's going to be different is another year in the program and a defensive back coach and Corey Raymond and a defensive coordinator that are going to put our guys in a position where they are going to succeed. So, look, we got to go do it. But I believe in the kids that we have.
Yeah.
I believe in the players that we have that can play at a high level in the SEC that are more experienced now going into the next year.
Catching up with LSU head coach Brian Kelly here on Off Campus. Now, Coach, in the bowl game, we got a chance to see Garrett Nussmeier. He was the starter. It was his team going into the bowl game, and it was cool. It was cool to see Jaden there with y'all as well to really help him out through that situation. But he goes there and he thrives. And look, the yards were great, the touchdowns were great, but for me, it was the drive to go win the game. Right. That situation, and you can talk about how much that can mean going into an offseason because you win the team in situations like that.
Yeah, so a couple of things stood out to me. One, his emotional control. I thought it was very even-keeled. It wasn't high and low. We've seen that from him at times.
Absolutely.
Where he got a little bit outside of himself. I thought in that game in itself, he showed a maturity and an emotional control that you want to see from an SEC high-level quarterback. The second thing is he thrived when the game was on the line. 97-yard drive. When the game mattered the most. Against, and people may disagree, that's not a bad defense against Wisconsin. So I like the fact that he was put in a situation where he had to perform with his back against the wall. And he did it without the highs and lows that maybe kind of sidetracked him at times. So it was, all in all, it was a really good performance from Garrett Nussmeier.
I've known this kid since he was probably 10 years old when his father was the offensive coordinator in Gainesville there at the University of Florida. He was friends with my son. All he's ever talked about was wanting to play Division I football. His focus and commitment to that goal was always impressive at such a young age. And I know how much he loves LSU. I know how much the state of Louisiana matters to him. Is he kind of the exception to the rule now when it comes to quarterbacks who are willing to be patient, stay around, be able to understand his value and his time is going to come, and kind of having a more veteran guy that's been in the system and had the chance to learn from somebody like Jaden Daniels? Is that's got to be a rarity these days, right?
Well, there's no question that he had to be selflessness and as being the cornerstone of what his mindset was, because he very easily could have been the number one quarterback on the market last year.
Yep.
And probably would have been starting somewhere in the SEC and maybe at a school we wouldn't have wanted him to be starting at. So he was selflessness, was at the cornerstone of who he was. And then I think more than anything else, he knew that he could be a starter here at LSU for 2 years and carry that mantle. And so I think he looked at both of those and said, you know what? Kind of like what we're saying is the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I can do it here. I enjoy what's being put in front of me here. I'm developing. I'm learning. And I'm going to get my chance, and the chance is now. And so it's going to be fun to watch him because I can already see him. Yeah. He's leading our program. He's a great leader right now in our off-season program. It's going to be fun to turn the mantle over to him.
Speaking of, waiting on their opportunity and now getting that, you got Joe Sloan, Cortez Hankton, both going to be co-offensive coordinators there. Joe handling the play-calling duties, and I love it. And a lot of us were, wondering what was going to happen, but kind of for me, hoping that they got that opportunity. We saw him in the bowl game. Joe lives 4 houses down from me. I always stop and talk ball with him for a little bit. Excited for him. Certainly earned the opportunity with what they did this year to help that offense be the number one offense in the country.
Yeah, I think it starts with Joe's ability to really understand all facets of the offense and what I'm looking for in terms of the run game, the pass game. Certainly the play calling will certainly get better and better. Look, play calling is an art and a science. It's not one or the other. And I was a play caller for over 25 years, so I can tell you that that's something that becomes acquired over time. And my initial feeling in watching him call the game is he got better as the game went along. And so I just felt like it was the right place to be with where our offense is and the quarterback that we have, the talent around it. And then Cortez brings an element of, I would say, experience. Won a national championship at Georgia, knows what it looks like, and brings a calming influence over our entire offense. So the combination of those guys will be a great fit for us in terms of where we are. We've got an outstanding offensive line coach in Brad Davis.
Absolutely, yeah.
Our hands, are full in terms of the need to play great up front this year. We're going to put a lot of emphasis on our offensive line, which we should. And then we've got a veteran former head coach who's done it everywhere, and Coach Wilson. So I just felt like we had great maturity in that end and great experience, and we had, I think, the energy necessary on the other side, and it just felt like a good mix to me.
Coach, you mentioned the off-season conditioning program. I don't think people that haven't been around or gone through it understand how important that part of the calendar is for developing chemistry and closeness. I think when you have a game like USC in game number one, it creates a sense of urgency that may not otherwise be there. What's that program been like, and what is it like to be able to point to a game that's going to take place against an iconic program in the stadium where the Super Bowl is being held here in a week?
It's a great point. I would say, I've always broken down this calendar in stages. This is stage one in the development of our football team, and to your point, this is where you build relationships. This is where you build the brotherhood. This is where you build accountability and trust with the guy next to you and doing it the right way where I can count on the guy next to me, getting up early every day, being on time. Those are the important things. USC might not be there yet. They see it every day when they walk into the team room. They see the schedule. There's no doubt about that. But the stage that we're in is really about building this football team in terms of its character. And then we'll move into stage two, which will be spring ball, much more technical and tactical and, putting the pieces together with some, new things defensively and what we need to do offensively. Stage three will be, certainly what they're going to do by themselves with no coaches around, right? So that accountability piece comes to life a little bit more, and then they start looking at that USC. We better work harder. We got to run through that line, and then preseason camp where it all comes together. So we're working through those stages. I think stage one, we're really trying to work on the accountability piece right now. But early indications are this football team has an edge about them that I really like.
Let me ask you. You mentioned the part of this year building this year's team. I think every team is different from year to year. Every team has an idea, but even more so now, is it possible to build a program these days, or is it more about, hey, we're going all in this year because I know what I got for now, and creates much more sense of urgency from season to season?
Well, Chris, it depends how you do it. I mean, if you bring in 15, 20 guys through the transfer portal, you have to rebuild it completely every year. I don't want to do that. I've been pretty clear that my business plan is a little bit different than maybe some others. And I'm not saying anyone is – listen, there are many businesses around the world that do it differently, and they all have done it well. I just say that from my perspective that I would want to build it with freshmen that have a alliance or trust in terms of what you're doing every single day. And then maybe you top off the tank here or there with a player or two. Yeah. But they are immersed into the culture that has been built over time in the program. So that's how we're building it, and that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I've done over 30-plus years. So we'll continue to do it that way. What you're saying is true. Can you rebuild a program with 15, 16, 17 through the portal? I think that's what you have to do every single year if you go that route.
Hester, you know this better than me or anybody else. I mean, there's a distinct advantage to be able to go back to what you said, recruiting Louisiana kids where LSU playing there means so much to you. Like, I played at Florida where I wanted to – my whole life, all I ever wanted to do was play at Florida. And it means more – it meant more to you.
It does. And, look, I'll be honest with you. Like, Texas has multiple schools, right? State divided. Alabama, Mississippi, Florida has 3 schools, state divided. South Carolina, state divided. It's not like that in Louisiana.
It isn't. There's one school.
There's one school, corner to corner, that everybody roots for, and that's what makes it different. Look, there's a reason Tiger Stadium has 100,000 people, and the Superdome only has 70.
I've made the case that I feel in my travels throughout the country in 5 different programs that there are only 2 states that rival having the connection with their state. It's Ohio and Louisiana. Yep. When you grew up, you want to be a Buckeye.
Right.
I was at Cincinnati, and I knew that. I even knew that. You know, we were getting their B player.
Yeah.
And here in the state of Louisiana, when they grow up, they want to go to LSU. And that, to me, is why you build your program based upon where you are geographically. And that's how we're doing it.
What was the other one you said? Ohio? What was the other one that rivals Louisiana?
Just Ohio.
Those 2. Okay.
Yeah, just Ohio.
I think those 2. Don't try to throw Florida in
there.
No,
I know
already
it's not
told
Florida.
you.
I was at Cincinnati and
saw
lived that and saw it
absolutely.
firsthand, and I knew we weren't getting that player that wanted to go Ohio State. We weren't beating him. We didn't even try.
Yeah.
And so it was just a matter of we're going to get the kids that want to go to Cincinnati, and that was it, and we lived off of that.
All right, Coach, the last one. I know we've kept you very long. Still playing 8 SEC games,
yes.
But the league is going to look a little bit different, adding 2 teams, getting rid of divisions. Does that change anything for you and your program this year?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, look, if you really kind of squint, you might say, well, you don't have the West anymore.
Right.
You don't have that. But really, at the end of the day, with 12 teams, you're going to take the top 2 and play in an SEC championship anyway. So it comes out the same way. And you've got 12 teams in the playoffs. So I think it comes out the same way. It's a tough schedule. 8 teams. Who knows what it's going to look like the next year? My guess is probably going to look the same, and we'll just flip it home and away. And then go from there.
Coach, real quick, he lied to you. He said it was the last one. I want to ask a personal question. Yeah. Acclimated to the state of Louisiana. We're on the cusp of having Mardi Gras coming up. Will you make an appearance in New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
Only when we win the national championship.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate to kind of stay back and let the entire state and the country enjoy Mardi Gras without Brian Kelly. And then when we win the national championship, I am all over Mardi Gras.
I'm coming. I've never been to Mardi Gras, so I'm going to wait until you guys do it.
Can I reserve a spot on that float?
You're with me, brother.
Absolutely.
Not Peter Burns.
No, get Peter out of here.
He'll be playing golf anyway.
He'll be playing golf somewhere.
We'll do the show up on top.
That'd be great.
Hey, This is recorded, right? We got the record button. Hit it. Okay. That's LSU head coach Brian Kelly. Good enough to join us here on Off Campus. Coach, we appreciate your time.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, when we get back, more OTB. We're going to talk to Jay Clark about this LSU gymnastics program. Huge meet in the PMAC tonight. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Join MMR and ignite your career today. MMR is the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, and they're seeking talented individuals to join their team. For over 3 decades, they've been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, and they have offices all around the globe.
And MMR offers a tailored path for both professional and personal development, outstanding benefits, and a dynamic culture. So whether you're an intern, a seasoned pro, or you're just starting out, see what MMR can offer you. Apply at mmrgrp.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 Black Widow trucks, $20,000 off new Ram 1500 trucks, and all new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Happy New Year from your friends at Front to Back Boat Service. And what better way to kick off your new year than by taking your boat to the next level? Get the boat of your dreams, and that's where Front to Back comes into play. You want that spot lock trolling motor that's going to keep you right there on the water where you need to be. How about some forward-facing sonar that actually shows you the fish before you even cast? Custom stereo jobs, all of it. Sherman family's been doing it for 38 years. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Some real great insight from Coach Brian Kelly there that we'll get to. But right now, let's talk to one of my favorite coaches on campus, and that is the head man of LSU Gymnastics, Jay Clark. If you have not been to the PMAC, which I know most of you listening have, it is an electric experience on Friday nights. It's a great way to spend a Friday night watching one of the best teams in the entire country do battle. And it seems like every single week they're just going against top 10, top 5 teams. Tonight's no different. Number 5 LSU against number 7 Arkansas. 7:30 the meet's going to get underway. Coach Clark, what's going on, man? How are we feeling today?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just getting my clothes ready. And meet day, I kind of take it easy here at the house and get some things done and get ready, get my mind right, and get ready to go have some fun in there tonight.
So I got to go to the home opener against Kentucky 2 weeks ago, and it was an unbelievable environment, and the team was on fire. I mean, a 198, 2 perfect 10s witnessed. The crowd pops, packed to the gills, 15K. Tonight should be no different. Last week, you hit the road to Mizzou, and of course, it's another top 10 battle, and it's as close a score as I've ever seen. I mean, a literal 1/10 of a point. I know gymnastics is a bit different, that like the wins and loss don't matter as much as, well, help explain this. How do you value like the wins and loss results versus just overall score consistency?
Well, I mean, internally we value wins and losses. I mean, we want to win them all, and I don't want anybody to ever think otherwise. But but as far as affecting where we are in terms of rankings or how we qualify to the postseason, it really has nothing to do with it. It's just about what our, for lack of a better description, our average score is. So scoring patterns are what matter for us over time, and that's what gets us into our seeding at the end of the season. But certainly I was pretty salty, and still a little salty about the way we kind of sleptwalk our way through that meet last week. We've seen a great week of practice. We had a great day yesterday in the gym. I feel like the team is in a good place to come out, and they always do better when we're in front of our own people and in that environment that you described as pure electricity. It really is, and it really elevates our performance. What we've got to be better at doing is being able to do that everywhere we go. And so tonight is a chance for us to get back on the right foot and continue to progress towards the kind of team we want to be.
Coach, I don't know that I've ever seen any sport that is in their first 6 contests gone against number 14, number 12, number 2, number 1, number 6, and number 9, and then you've got number 7 coming up here on tonight's meet. Coach, I don't know that I've ever seen that in any sport ever, like literally ever. No sport, no level of competition.
Well, it's 2 things. It's one, it's a byproduct of this conference, like in every other sport. Where you see it in baseball, you see it in everything, where the entire conference is ranked inside the top 20. And then the other part too is from a philosophical standpoint. I want us to be tested every single week, and I also want, when we bring opponents in here, I want to bring quality opponents in here. That fan base deserves that. They show up. They want to see an exciting thing. So that means occasionally we're going to lose some, and in a sport again where it doesn't really determine things, I'm okay with risking that so long as we continue to get sharper as a result of it, and we give our fans an exciting show when they're in the PMAC.
So we talked about consistency and just how kind of infinitesimal the margins can be in this sport.
Is that a word?
Coach, I appreciate you asking that, because I keep a word bank of things T-Bob says. I write them down, and I find out the definition later.
Okay, how about this, boys? Infinitesimal, extremely small, and indefinitely small quantity, a value approaching 0, right? Very appropriate.
Oh, I believe you.
When last week decided by a 1/10 of a point. So obviously you break that 198 barrier against Kentucky, which is incredible. What is your do you have a baseline score that you're looking to hit each week?
Well, I mean, scoring, obviously the 198 is sort of a benchmark that everybody uses to kind of, if you have a team that can consistently do that, then you've got a team that can compete for a championship. At the same time, in a subjective sport, we don't know week to week what the officials are going to, what kind of, what they're going to be looking at and who's going to be on the floor judging. So it's subjective. So we really de-emphasize that as much as possible. The bottom line is our kids know when they perform at a level that's representative of their ability and representative of how they train. And that's what we evaluate ourselves on. We kind of use our own performance as our own measuring stick, and it really, if the score works out, that's great. If it doesn't, then we move on. But it's really just about measuring ourselves against ourselves.
And it's a fascinating thing in terms of home versus away, because when you are performing in front of your friendly crowd, I mean, the juice is indescribable, but it is a bit odd where, like, you watch the opponents go and you really have to create your own juice if you're the away team. Like, it has to be within the team because it's relatively quiet, and maybe you'll get like some golf claps for like an excellent performance or something, but you're not just going to feed off of the crowd in the same way. So how do y'all approach when you do hit the road? Because you got Arkansas at home this week. Then you got to travel to Georgia, one of the most traditionally successful programs of all time. Then back home against Auburn. When you hit the road, how do you seek to create that sort of same type of energy?
Well, we do a lot of things, both where we're at the hotel. We do things. We do a walkthrough where we kind of go through mental routines and just kind of create a mindset and a vision, a daily vision of what it is we intend to do. Have them go through that and create kind of what the kids would call a bubble that they try to get into and not let anything penetrate that. Our sport demands about a 90. In order to be successful, you got to be 98, 99% successful, even on a piece of apparatus that's 4 inches wide. So it's not something. I would equate it mentally more to golf than I would a lot of the other sports in terms of us just having to stay within our own mindset and not let those things affect us. We do let loose, and we do feed off the energy of the crowds when they respond to a great performance, and that does create a sense of momentum, and we can catch fire when we do that. But other than that, it's just really kind of stay within your own mindset and get in that bubble, as they call it.
And knock on wood, here's to hoping that the health continues to sustain this year. Obviously, last year, a year in which y'all make this magical run, but really a year defined by adversity, but you carry over a lot of those same those same people, right? So, like, I know it's early on, but do you feel as if that kind of hardening of last season has that carried forward, has that paid positive dividends heading into 2023, or is it 24?
Yeah,
it's 24 now. Wow. Sheesh.
Yeah, I think there's things we learned for sure that we've learned that we've got a fighter's sort of attitude within our group. We've shown that we can dig ourselves out of holes when we have to. The thing that's frustrated me to this point, and it is early as you mentioned, but is that we've got to stop digging holes, and we've got to be able to put complete meets together and not put ourselves in an adverse situation in order to respond. That's the mark of a mature team and a great team, and keeping them all happy, because we right now we've got a lot of bodies that can go, and they all want to compete, and so communication from the coaching staff has been paramount, just making sure they know where we stand and why we're making decisions and lineups that we are, and just making sure that we can keep them all on the same page, because at the end of the day we all want to stand on the podium together, and that's the ultimate goal, and all the individual stuff will take care of itself. So that's been our biggest challenge. Can we keep the attributes that team showed last year when we're not faced with adversity? If we can do that and be unselfish and do the things we need to do, we're going to have great success.
And then what about the Razorbacks? Obviously, I've kind of gathered. I always remember Georgia being an incredible program growing up. We all know about Utah, what they bring to bear. Obviously, somebody like Oklahoma. Arkansas, when you scout them, where are they especially strong?
Well, right now they're really good. I would say that the floor is probably their best event right now. I don't know where they're ranked, but they're way up there. They're just real consistent. They've done everything really well. They've put a string of good, solid meets together early in the season, and a team like that can be very dangerous. They're well coached. They've recruited well the last couple of years. They're a team that every time we see them, everybody wants to classify them as an up and coming program. I think they're there. I think they're they're going to be a perennial top 10 type team, and they'll be able to push us. So we've got to bring our A game for sure, and we got to get in there and keep an aggressive sort of attacking mindset. If we get the least bit timid, that's when we can get in trouble.
So, look, the bottom line, you want something fun to do tonight, date night, family, whatever the case may be, there's nothing more fun than getting out to the PMAC. It's going to be at 7:30 tonight against Arkansas. Go check it out. Pack out the PMAC. Get loud. Yes. Get crazy. Best of luck, Coach. I'm currently trying to line up a babysitter so I can be out there. We will see. Yeah, man, best of luck tonight.
Well, I appreciate you getting me on. Appreciate you coming out and supporting us, and I appreciate that big brain with that large vocabulary.
Yes.
Look at the big brain on Bob. Little Pulp Fiction. All right, Coach, you have a great night tonight, and thank you so much. We'll be doing this every Friday with Coach Jay Clark.
Go Tigers.
Yes, sir.
Talk
Go
to you
Tigers,
soon.
indeed.
All right.
The legend, man. I need y'all to understand how sincere I am being with how much fun it is and how electric it is in the competition. I was actually talking to Dorian about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And how it's nonstop action and it's so easy to follow. Like you can see the scores as they're climbing and the margins and what you need to score in order to win that round. And it's the absolute best.
I can tell how excited you are. You went 3 questions in a row, stole 2 of mine.
Yeah, my bad, dude. Well, we don't talk about questions beforehand. This just means we're simpatico.
I mean,
this means we're
I already knew
up.
that, but
if you want to get some last second tickets,
you got so excited when he gave you an attaboy for the vocab. I get it. I understand. I understand. I saw you sit up a little bit.
It's kind of my deal. It's kind of my whole thing. All right, when we get back, we'll keep this. Let's get into some of these LSU stories. As Bussy on campus yesterday, what did he have to say? Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You need to buy a new vehicle, maybe a Toyota certified used vehicle, where you're going to get it at a great price, and you still get that excellent warranty coverage where you kind of choose the level of warranty. Maybe you need a rent from missed lease sessions. Well, they're going to get you right with cheaper, pretty rental prices through different rental companies. But that's why the service center is also awesome. Not just because it's like top-notch quality work, free professional estimates, excellent lines of communications, but if it is a big job, you get in an accident, insurance claims are welcome, all makes and models. Jake, you can go in there and you can rent a car right there on site, right? Or they have the shuttle service, just like a day fix, where they can drop you off and then pick you up later. It's just an unparalleled level of customer service. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today, and you can buy new, certainly. You can lease, and everything's available, by the way, in those leases as well as the rentals. So if you're looking to do anything, everything is available. But rentals, Mardi Gras break coming up, out for school, maybe you're going somewhere, check out those rentals on the website, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Funk Dog exclusive. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. You wanna know what we say in the club? Hey, baby.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
This has got to be 07.
I'd say 06. Maybe even earlier, T.
I'm going to say 6 as well.
I feel like this was a Reggie's freshman theme, and my freshman year was 07.
Quick, anybody without looking it up, who sings this song?
Hurricane Chris?
Jake nailed it.
Okay,
2006.
Oh, okay, good call. Full True Circle, I can't get it out of my head. I always think that it's Boosie.
It has a
It sounds like Boosie. Boosie has a distinct voice.
But this sounds like, I know,
him,
it sounds like him every time I think it's Boosie.
Hurricane Chris from Louisiana?
Yeah, he's from New Orleans.
Okay.
Was he a one-hit wonder?
No, he had something else.
Okay. Greg LeMond, an absolute banger in high school. God, we're all getting old, boys. So funny to think about on the ride back, me and Jake just listened to music the whole time, and we're playing like oldies and whatnot. And it's like, when our kids ask for oldies, are we going to be like,
here's Hurricane Chris?
Oh, yeah. Y'all remember that song, Halle Berry?
Yeah, because my wife was
Hurricane Chris.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew he had one more.
Because my wife was Caitlin Berry. So we are the Caitlin Berry.
T-Bob and I had a good trip on the way back. We were playing music, but talking through the music, setting it up.
Very emotional. Just a couple of bros being open.
Yeah.
What do you listen to when you're sad? What do you listen to when you're happy?
Yeah.
What song makes you feel?
Yeah.
Learned a lot of new cool music as well. Jake, very soulful in his music choices, for sure.
Got some John Williams.
Yeah, I even made him listen to some John Williams at times.
Yeah, I mean, look, you didn't make me listen to him.
No. Yes, no.
We were Danny and I used to like to try to, get at you a little bit because we knew it'd fire you up about the Hans versus John Williams debate.
Greg says Hurricane Chris is 3-1 great, Jake.
I thought he was Shreveport.
Maybe he is.
I thought he was Shreveport. I didn't want to throw it out there and be like,
of course, dude.
Of course, Hester thinks that everybody's from Shreveport. I thought so, but I don't know. Either way, Louisiana, right?
Where was Rivers? So Rivers not going to be in today or on the ride home. She decided to move to Mobile. She enjoyed it so much that she is relocated. No, I'm just kidding. She is in Los Angeles for her other job at Evolve, doing some workout stuff or something or another. So she went straight to LA. I think it's like a workout conference, essentially. All right, Jake, I wanted to revisit some of the things that you talked about with Brian Kelly. First, it does not sound, unfortunately, like 9 SEC games is happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't think because Scott Weber came on here, and remember, I think he even said, like, make the mouse pay up or something, essentially, right? Like, he dropped like a Mickey Mouse type line. And I don't know how much you pay attention to all this stuff if you're listening, but like Disney and Bob Iger and company, they're in a weird spot right now overall, but they're in a weird spot with ESPN. Like, they kind of want to get out of ESPN. And so I don't think they're particularly they're not particularly motivated to make the offer to the SEC that the SEC wants to get a 9th game for the inventory.
And the SEC is not going to play that 9th game until, like, you pony up and you make it worth their while. Why would they? They're still the best conference, and if they stay at 8 games, you're still going to get, the same eyeballs. You're still going to be considered the best league, and you're not going to just do it just because. And so a lot of us were wondering, because we only got 1 year of the schedule release, okay, does that mean changes are coming in 25? It sounds like it's going to be the schedule we have here in 24 and just flip it. Obviously, home and aways changed there, so that would mean, for me personally, I'm excited because it means you get Florida for 1 more year. It means you get Oklahoma, which I think is going to become the thing, right? Just like Texas A&M was when they came into the league and they made LSU Texas A&M a thing. I think they're going to try to do that with LSU in Oklahoma. And so, I really don't blame the SEC, right? If they're not going to pony up for those games, why would I play that game? And once they do add that 9th SEC game, some of the other games around that are going to change. You're not going to play 2 Big Ten teams like LSU's playing this year once you add another SEC game. Like, that ain't going to happen. Why would you do that as well? 9 SEC games is going to be more than enough to get you in any position that you want to get into, right? You could play Little Sisters of the Poor for those other games, and if you win them, that's all you got to do, because the 9 SEC games are going to stand alone enough.
I still would hope that we kind of get rid of cupcake games.
Me too. But if you add that 9th game,
it would take a rule change for that to happen.
Yes, if you add that 9th game, you're still going to play that 1 Power 5, probably, right? Probably still have that in there.
Yes,
but the other 2 are going to be teams that you literally roll the helmet out there and beat.
Which, again, unless a rule change, like, that makes sense. You're not going to go out of your way to schedule harder, especially not because, like, Michigan's, potentially set some dangerous precedents with just don't play anybody, right? But, I mean, you got to win your games. You have no margin of error. But if you can kind of keep your legs a bit more fresh maybe than some of these other teams. So 9 SEC games, probably not happening anytime soon. Run it back next year, but it's a great schedule, so I don't mind that. When we get back, let's wrap up Hour 2, and then remember, we're going to kick off Hour 3 with Jay Johnson. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to the Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. Local, okay? Cannot hammer it enough. If you need purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal, whatever it is, they are right there in Gonzales, Louisiana, and you can go and visit them, Jake, and you can meet the team that you'll be working with, the sales team, whoever. Brandon, geez, get my brain right. Brandon Golson himself. You can also go touch the product, right? Like the steel buildings, whatever it is. Purlin, you can go see it, feel it, examine it. Know exactly what you're buying. This could be for a commercial job or maybe just something for you. But either way, go take advantage of the incredible prices over there at Community Steel Co., communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, we love the website. It says it right there, as big as anything on the front page, Gonzales, Louisiana. They want you to know they're local. They want you to come see them. Top right corner of that website, click on Community Steel, pull up a map of where they're at. You can always call them as well, 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join MMR and ignite your career today. MMR is the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, and they're seeking talented individuals to join their team. For over 3 decades, they've been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, and they have offices all around the globe.
And MMR offers a tailored path for both professional and personal development, outstanding benefits, and a dynamic culture. So whether you're an intern, a seasoned pro, or you're just starting out, see what MMR can offer you. Apply at mmrgrp.com.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade, time to slip away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
This is why I'm hot.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So here in Baton Rouge, we were treated to a bevy of excellent entertainment choices. We're going to do gymnastics tonight. What about tomorrow, 4 p.m., BRCC? How about it? Big game coming up. We got Brock Cantro here to tell us all about it. Got some great deals going down. First 50 student to the games tomorrow going to get a free McDonald's McDouble. Let's go. And look, my wife, former BRCC Bear, right? Great pathway to get into LSU back in the day. Brock, what's going on, man? How we feeling?
Doing great, man. I got my thesaurus out right now. I'm gonna throw some big words at you sometime soon.
Yes, Brock did.
He would love nothing more than that.
What did he? What did he text me? He said, "I'm infinitesimally excited." The only problem is that means you're not excited at all, bro.
I
know. Hey, so tell me about tomorrow, man. What's going on tomorrow at 4?
Dude, we have our conference home opener. We play Southern from Shreveport. Conference is really important to us. If we win our conference, we get a chance to go play in the region tournament for a chance to go to Hutch. So, our goal is to get to Hutch and play and compete for our national championship, and this is the first step.
And so how has it gone thus far? How are we feeling about the team, and how are we feeling about this matchup with Southern tomorrow?
We're making great progress. I hired a new coach at the beginning of the year. I hired Byron Starks, a former ULL All-Star. He's in the Hall of Fame at ULL. And I've got a really good assistant coach named John Brady, some guy that I picked out of the blue to come help us out. And we're showing great signs of improvement. I mean, this is kind of a year where we're taking the next step, and I think the future is really bright for us.
All right, how is it seeing Coach Brady back, roaming the court on the sidelines there? I always loved watching him when I was at LSU. Like, does he have the same, kind of determination and grit that he's always had there?
I will tell you, he got a technical his third game in.
No way, dude. Let's go. Let's go.
But let me tell you how much he's different. He called me after the game and apologized to me for getting technical.
Wow. There we go, dude. Okay. It looks like an old dog can learn new tricks.
He's great to have around, man. The kids love him. The coach loves him. It just legitimizes what we're doing. I mean, he's totally invested. He's not a name guy. he's literally at practice every day when he's not traveling with the LSU team. The other day, I teased him. He's cooking hot dogs with Coach Stark for the kids in the recharge room. So he's totally vested in what's going on. It makes me happy.
Well, and speaking of being totally invested, Brock, ever since you've taken over as AD, you're totally invested. You bring a grind and an energy to BRCC that I haven't seen there yet before. Do you feel like do you feel like you're selling your vision? Like people starting to buy in?
I appreciate that, T-Bob. It means a lot. And yes, I think people are starting. It's not even buying in. It's people knowing that we're here. I mean, it's basically just brand management right now. I mean, we have a great product. We have a great facility. We have a great school. I mean, it's economically viable for everybody to go there. The games cost $12 to go to a game. You park across the street. It's just a really easy sell that nobody's really sold before. And, I think we're kind of getting the word out that this is a quality entertainment value.
Yeah, so remember, tomorrow the game's at 4 p.m. It's free admission for current BRCC students and employees. First 50 students going to get free McDonald's. You also have the Geo Prep band there. It's going to be a great day. Go out, have a good time. Brock, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Brock Cantro, BRCC AD. Go Bears. Again, you're looking for something chill to do. You got a son or a daughter that's a hoop head. Like you said, that's just a great way, affordable, easy to get to, just a fun way to spend an afternoon. So BRCC open up the conference play tomorrow with Southern of Shreveport. Jake, so watch out now, bro. You can't be cheering for them 3-1 great Jags. Okay?
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
I wonder, is Lady Jag a Southern or Shreveport fan?
I don't know. I like to shout, Grambling stuff at her like when I leave, just so, see how far I can take it.
All right, when we get back, hour 3, open up with Jay Johnson.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The new. Don't miss this opportunity to get your hands on some beautiful jewelry at a discounted price. Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
That'd be Stephanie. Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on February 2nd. Sorry about that. We were talking about my wrestling outfit for Halloween.
I'm making Taylor go as Miss Elizabeth.
I was going to recommend
Man.
Stephanie McMahon, and then the mic cut on. In hour 3 of today's show, we will be joined by LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson at 9 a.m. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch up in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I am fired up right now. It is hour 3 of OTB, and we are talking to the legend, the man, the reigning national champ, the man who is so kind during the baseball season to make time for us every single week, the man who brought glory back to the box. That man could be none other than Coach Jay Johnson. Coach, what's going on, man?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm feeling pumped, bro. You know why? Because it's almost baseball season, and your boy's fired up. Last year that is a top 5 sporting experience of my entire life. The whole season, the run at the end, it's just memories that I'll never forget. But I realize that it's a new year. And we have to move on. And we'll get to the scrimmages that are in the box this week, open to the public. I'll let you know about the timing and all of that and everything for the audience. But I'm like I said, I'm just over the moon. Brand new team. Can't wait to see how you've constructed it. Philosophically, I love the quote you had recently where, paraphrasing here, or something along the lines of, look, I can't promise you what's going to happen. The only thing I can promise is that there's going to be adversity, right? Do you feel that when you look at last year, does that help you to sell these new players, sell this new version of this team on, look, you have to trust me. If you do what I am telling you to do, it will put us in a position to succeed?
Yeah, I think we've had great success here with just kind of our process of winning, and the big part of that is buy-in from the players of what we're doing and how we're doing it and commitment to doing it, and just them to understand that this is not easy. I mean, last year was about as good as you could play for as long as you could play. I mean, sure, there's bumps in the road, but it's SEC baseball. You're not going to avoid them in this modern era. Everybody is too good. There's too many good players. There's too many good venues. There's too many good coaches. So instead of worrying about what anybody else is doing, we have to focus on what we're doing and really creating that strong mindset. And been a fun challenge. It's my first national championship, so it's first time winning the last game of the season. And so I'm excited to attack this as kind of a new thing. And I think our players are doing a good job of that and respecting that right now.
Coach, when you win a national championship, it comes with a lot of extra, certainly in celebration and different things. Has that made this offseason feel longer or shorter as you get ready for this next season?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it just feel like that game finished, to be honest.
Really?
It's been pretty fast, but that's okay. We're excited to get to game day. This weekend is always like the tough weekend of the preseason because you can't quite see opening day yet. And the newness of getting back to practice and being together has worn off. But we had a great scrimmage yesterday. Looking forward to a good one this afternoon. And like I said, our players are doing a good job. We're pushing them pretty hard right now, and they're responding in a good fashion.
Yeah, so if you want to go check out the team, y'all, Baseball in the Box the entire weekend. Today it's going to be at 3:30, Saturday at 1, Sunday at 1. Admission and parking are free, and the gates are going to open 15 minutes before those times. So you want to get some early eyes on this team 2 weeks ahead of opening day. This weekend's an excellent opportunity to do so. Coach, one thing that comes with the territory of being national champion, and especially beating the teams you beat on the way, who obviously you're going to have to face again this year, is this idea of having the target on your back, of being the hunted. How are you approaching that from a mental standpoint?
Yeah, I think first off, last year's team, we were number one team for 13 consecutive weeks, and I felt like there was a target on that team and almost unreasonable expectations that they went out and met head on, and that's a credit to that team. As far as that this year, this is not about defending anything. It's not about protecting our status or our reputation or anything of that nature. It's 2024 is a new opportunity, and it requires our absolute focus and attention to detail, and we're attacking it as its own deal. Like, this is the only time this team will be this team, and we're trying to respect that and got some really good player leadership that's honoring that and showing the way. And like I said, we're pushing them pretty hard right now.
Coach, as someone who's had a separated shoulder like 2 or 3 times, I cannot imagine what Tommy White was going through last year, continuing to kind of pop in and out and still put up the numbers that he did and the appearances that he did, right? I mean, he was out there basically every single day. I have to imagine like he's got even another like kind of level to his game, maybe a pep in his step, knowing that his shoulder is repaired. It's not going to pop out of place.
Yeah, I'm really happy for Tommy. He had a couple things going on with his body last year that he was able to show his toughness and get through. He really only missed like 4 games or 5 games, 3 right after he hurt his shoulder. And then he had kind of a different deal in the middle of SEC play where he missed half a game and then the Tuesday game and came back and kept hitting home runs, so nobody paid any attention to it. Yeah. So really happy for him. We got that done. He's on track for opening day. He looks like Tommy White in the box, hit a home run yesterday.
Hell yeah.
And really, really excited for having him back this year.
God, I can't wait to see that 2-strike stance again. Coach,
it is pretty awesome, right?
It's incredible.
Because I think people should be fired up about that the way I'm fired up about that. So thanks for saying that.
Have you ever had a hitter like with the power that a Tommy White has, like change his approach and still have like a lot of power in that 2-strike approach, but to be able just to be willing to do so?
Yeah, he's really advanced, and there's a few guys that I've had that have come in, just they have talent, but they've been prepared the right way, and Tommy's certainly one of those. It's a rare combo of hitting skill, power, plate discipline in his own right, 2-strike approach. Really, we want to think about this. We want to hammer mistakes. We want to not swing at balls. We want to be tough with 2 strikes, and we want to move the ball forward with runners on base, and he had 105 RBIs. So he's pretty much the perfect LSU hitter, if you really want me to break it down.
And speaking of perfect, Paul Skeens was damn near that last season as the ace of the staff. And, in football, a lot of times, Coach, we make a lot of following up a Joe Burrow, right? Or now Garrett Nussmeier taking on that mantle from Jaden Daniels. Well, this is no different in a lot of ways. How do you get I don't know if it's going to be Holman. Like, you don't have to say necessarily who it's going to be, but how do you approach that with the player about maybe not letting that 6'7" shadow loom too large over him?
Yeah, I think fans will think about that a lot. I mean, honestly, our players are just trying to be the best that they can be, and still a line from the old Moneyball movie, like, you're not trying to replace him with one guy, you're trying to replace him with three guys. And that's probably the attack mode that we have. That being said, I'm really excited about the depth of our pitching staff. We picked up a couple guys last summer in the transfer portal, and Luke Holman and Gates Jump that'll figure into that. I mean, for the last 6 weeks of the college baseball season last year, there wasn't three pitchers better than Thatcher Hurd, so we're excited about him. Griffin Herring is throwing the ball extremely well. Nate Ackenhouse is throwing the ball extremely well. Kate Anderson's a freshman we like. Javen Coleman's coming back off that injury. So we're really excited about the number of guys that could start and get us deep into the game. And then from there, some really good options out of the bullpen, which some of those guys I just mentioned will figure into that. So, there's probably no Paul. There probably never will be again. I mean, I don't think you could dominate more than he did last year. But I think we got a bunch of excellent, All-American caliber pitchers that are going to do a great job for us this year.
Hey, Coach, it feels like, competition last year certainly, but it feels like even more so this year. And not competition necessarily because you're just needing someone to step up, but competition because you have multiple guys that really could do a good job in whatever role it might be. What has that competition been like over, the first couple of days of practice?
Yeah, it's been good. I would give the fall, the pitchers completely dominated the offense. It was probably like the 86 Chicago Bears defense. It was like that. And then we've had a little more balance coming back. Obviously having Tommy back in the middle of things helps. But, a lot of guys have made some good improvements and have been working hard. And, it's just, you talk about that not comparing. Like, the offensive baseball that was played here last year was at such a high level. Like, I have to be careful not to do that. You know what I mean? And our process is our process, and you get to different stages, but a lot of guys are stronger. They're moving better. They're understanding the approach. They're certainly getting challenged by this pitching staff. And, early returns on the position players through, I guess it would be 5 scrimmages are pretty good so far.
And we could talk all day about the new elements of the team, the return elements, how they're going to be used, but not an individual player, but like here recently, there haven't been a ton of lefties, certainly at the end of Coach Maneri's era, and there's been some stalwarts in that mix, but y'all have just had an infusion of left-handed pitching here. How is that? Are you getting excited to now take that arsenal into the year with you?
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and definitely by design from legend Augie Garrido, longtime coach at Texas, Cal State Fullerton. I met him when I was a young coach, and we were talking baseball, and he talked about the importance of left-handed pitching and left-handed hitting, and just want to make sure we're always building our team around having enough of both of those things. And we had to be super intentional about that. It's been, 3 recruiting classes, I guess, or 2.5 that we've been really aggressive with that and put us in a really good spot. And there's guys that can start, there's guys that can close, there's guys that can match up. There's guys that can go left on right and be just as effective as a righty. So I'm super happy to have as many left-handed pitchers as we do, and they're all good. Like, they all can serve a purpose here.
Coach, when you come in and T-Bob and I go through this, when you're a freshman coming into football, like you're there and it's a physical sport and you're trying to figure out, can I do this? Is this something that, I've got the ability to do? But you got to go out there, you have to do it. But baseball, like, freshmen play more than they do probably than any other sport. And you've got a class coming in that looks like some of those players are ready to play. But what are those conversations like with the freshmen? Like, do you give them the same advice? Is it different depending on the guy?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And if you look over at least the 2 years I've been here, we've actually played more freshmen than anybody in the SEC. And
wow.
You wouldn't think that. It's not a real successful dynamic right now. And some of that has to do with COVID and shortened draft and older players. So we just try to give them perspective. Like, every guy we're recruiting has always been the best player on their team. And they show up here, and it's not necessarily that. So I actually played that Coach Saban video that was out there about a month and a half or 2 months ago about freshmen, and then when they get to their time in the NFL draft, nobody ever asks how much time they played as a freshman. They ask, what did they develop into?
Wow.
And so to try to give them some perspective on that, at the same time, it's like, hey, man, go get it. Like, if you can help us win, I'm always going to do what's best for LSU. So, like, let's see what we can do. And we have a couple pitchers and a couple position players that I think are ready to help out right away. I mean, Cameron Johnson and Kate Anderson on the pitching side of it, and Jake Brown and Stephen Milam on the position player side of it. So we brought in small numbers this year just because we had a big class last year, but I think we got some really high impact out of those guys, and there's some guys right behind them that are going to be really good players here. It just might take a little bit to get them to that opportunity.
Well, and I mean, you do have such an overwhelming roster, and it comes in an era, Coach, where, look, transfers are wide open. Now, LSU is, if not the premier destination, certainly they're in tier one. So a lot of times you can be the one attracting that talent. But when it comes to roster management, does that factor in, right? Because I guess it's kind of a weird dance. You're not going to give a guy like playing time or false hope just so that he doesn't want to leave. So I guess how do you approach kind of keeping everyone happy, or does that even enter the equation?
I'm just very straightforward with guys. And then the other thing that I say that we do is we develop every player in the program. So player 40 has a player development plan. Player 40 has a short-term and long-term purpose in terms of what we're doing. And I really believe in what we do and how we do it. And I think the players would tell you that. And they may not agree with, where they sit at a certain time, and that's fine. They're competitors, and I really don't get offended or worried by that. But none of them will ever say they're not getting our coaching staff's best to develop them to be the best they can be. And I think that's why we've been successful with that. It's not like, hey, we're going to work with our guys and you guys are over here to the side. That's not how this thing goes. And I think that's been a big part of our success of retaining the roster and the guys that should be here.
Coach, I don't know the inner workings of a locker room for baseball like I do football, but I look at the catchers that you have on this roster as far as locker room dynamics, and that's some of the biggest leaders. At least from the outside looking in, it looks like some of the biggest leaders on the team. And I have to imagine, obviously being in the lineup, but handling the pitching staff, if you have leaders that are playing that position like you do, that has to be a positive.
Huge positive, and I'm proud of all of them because they've all had a little bit of a bumpy road, relative to health or competition or whatever. And, you have to have a good catching to have a good team, especially with the pitching staff of our caliber. So to have Brady and Alex and Hayden, all three of them are going to play, and all three of them are going to kind of serve a different role or purpose on the team. And we're very fortunate, in that spot. And relative to the leadership, Alex and Hayden have done a really good job. We had good player leadership last year, and those guys have definitely carried that forward. And that's going to be super important because, we're, like I said, we're going to have adversities, different challenges for this team, and really happy with how those guys are carrying the torch in that department.
So, again, y'all, 2 weeks from today, opening day, brand new year, let's go. But if you want to get eyes on this team, scrimmage coming up 3:30 today, and then 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Admission and parking both free, and the gates will open 15 minutes beforehand. Last thing here, Coach, what are kind of the goals in these scrimmages? What are you looking to accomplish?
Yeah, I think two things. Make sure our players are locked in on our path to winning. Like, we evaluate the scrimmages, we score them on this is what we think is important to win, and making sure each player understands what their job is to positively affect our chances to win. And then on my end, there's a little bit of how are we going to line this thing up initially. And there's still a long way to go on that. And that's a good thing. And so just kind of get them ready to win. And that's a deliberate step-by-step thing that we do.
Coach Jay Johnson, LSU head baseball coach, again, going to be in the box all weekend long. Opening day, just 2 weeks away. Thank you so much, Coach. We're obviously very excited. Thank you.
You got it, guys. Good talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
always is an absolute
Off the bench
pleasure.
with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Remember, I just told you about the body shop like I've been doing every single day, where it's excellent. All makes and models welcome. It's right there of an airline in Goodwood. It's very easy, conveniently located. You can schedule these services ahead of time online at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, or you can just drive in. But remember, if you mention Off the Bench, you mention T-Bob, you mention Jake, you get $100 towards that deductible. So take advantage of the excellent service over there, the rental cars, the shuttle service, whatever it is, the free professional estimates like I referenced. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
We always encourage you, go check out the website, find the vehicle that fits your needs, your family's needs. They have something for everyone. It's not just one option, multiple options, multiple midsize SUVs, multiple sedans, multiple hybrids, multiple trucks, right? If you need something bigger for your family, they've got the Sequoia, they've got the Sienna. Literally something for everybody over at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
Lean with it, walk with it, 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 lean with it, walk with it.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
This is weird because all this music I undeniably loved back in the day. And I I'm sitting here and I'm leaning and I'm rocking. And and certainly it's triggering nostalgia. You know,
Don't you do it.
I could wax nostalgic about it if I needed to.
You want to?
But
are you going to cite your source on that?
Shout out
the
Rick
first time.
Rick Neuheisel.
Okay, now that's all you got to do. You can use it as your own.
But I kind of think it sounds like garbage.
No, man, I knew you were going there.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I don't think it sounds very good anymore. Like
that.
I don't
that
think,
one is not my favorite, but leading up to it, I've enjoyed it.
Again, I'm not saying
but I don't think it's bad though.
That's what I'm saying. I would not.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
I don't think you're ever going to catch me casually listening to any of it, unfortunately.
I'll have a playlist after this show of the songs that we've played, and I'll wear it out for probably about 10 days or
Alondra, are you doing these in between the breaks, or do you come into the show with a set list all ready to go?
No, I don't come in with it ready.
Okay, nice. So you're just making as you go along.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You're doing great. Daniel Basham, oh no, T-Bob is turning old. I know. No, for sure. Dude. For sure.
These songs aren't good anymore.
For sure. I just don't think that. I don't know, man. It's like, maybe it's like if you haven't drank 12 Natty Lights before, that it just doesn't hit in the same way.
I don't imagine that 12 Natty Lights would do anything to your body. I have never seen a human be able to guzzle alcoholic beverages and not really change.
I can,
and certainly Natty Light ain't gonna do it for you.
Yeah, I've got there's 16 ounces.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, your boy's got a pretty high tolerance for sure. Rivers was commenting on that when we were out the other night at that speakeasy, and I was just slugging cocktails. I don't know. I just love alcohol.
Weren't y'all like the only ones in there for a while?
Yeah, I think Glenn showed up. Hung out with Glenn Gilbo for a bit. But yeah, not a lot of people there actually. I didn't see I made some poor tactical decisions from a networking standpoint this year. I should not have played World of Warcraft instead of going to the dinner with Neuheisel and Mark Dominic. That was a bad move by me.
Yeah, I really wanted you there too.
I know. I dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
And I should not have gone to Veets because Veets is dead.
That ain't the move.
Veets is dead
They
now.
used to be
the move where if you wanted to see all the coaches, all the scouts.
It was the welcome party, on Monday night. That was
which I think maybe it still was on Monday, but Veets by Wednesday was a bad move. I should have gone to one of the other bars.
Yeah. Probably should have.
You know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
And
I didn't hate only being hungover one day. Like that was actually not bad. But yeah.
You were very self-controlled this trip.
Yeah. I'm just getting old, dude. Like this temptation of like, man, what if I didn't feel like I was fighting for my life at 6 a.m. when the show was about to start?
There is nothing I hate more than being hungover. Like there's literally nothing that is worse than that to me.
Well, I don't want to.
And I've had some pretty bad ones that I'm like, that make me want to stop drinking.
Well, and I was going to say, I don't want to freak you out, but it only gets worse.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah.
Like you're still at prime bounce back age.
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
I have not. Like there is one time that like it took me out for like 2 days maybe.
Yep. I've had some of those as well.
Yeah, and I was like,
you
the
never
ranch
want to
waters
be,
killed me.
Yeah, you never want to be curled up, laying down in the shower.
Oh man.
That's when you know you've flown too close to the sun and the waxes.
It was Christmas Eve too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, okay.
It was one of those like I got home, went to a bar.
You don't
with,
have
like,
responsibilities.
Yeah,
but still.
like your high school. You know, you like go back with your high school friends or whatever.
Oh, so you went
like,
out on Christmas Eve?
I went out the night before Christmas Eve.
Okay. That's what you're saying.
We
Yes,
celebrate
yes.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So like it was terrible for me, and my dad kept putting beers in front of me and being like, "Chug this."
Little
it's
hair
gonna
of the
help
dog,
you. Yeah,
dude.
and
Yeah,
I was like,
for
I
sure.
literally cannot chug this.
You have
like,
to.
No, dude, I was dying.
You have to. That's like you have to ease. It's like we watched. I'd never seen it before, but we watched the beginning of that Denzel Washington movie where he has to crash land the plane.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to invert the bird. If you're not, like, again, it's not going to solve all your problems. You're really just kind of delaying, but a little of the hair of the dog will smooth out that transition a bit. So instead of just nosediving straight into the ground, like he still crash lands.
Yeah.
There's still a couple casualties. He still gets hurt, like he has a concussion. The other co-pilot has brain injuries, but basically everyone lives.
Yeah.
Right? Little hair of the dog can kind of do that same thing with a little easy end to it. You're still going to hurt. It's not going to be great. You're not going to feel perfect. And you got to be careful because sometimes you might get a little hair of the dog and then you're like, ooh, I feel good.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to start again. And that's when and then you're really going to pay the piper when the 2-day bender comes to an end.
All-time comment inside the Bayou 4 chat here from Jeremy. T-Bob has a little bit of blood in his alcohol stream.
I want to watch the rest of that Denzel movie, by the way.
It's called Flight.
You and I were, like, when you let me share your room for 3 hours before we did snaps, we were locked into that one. I forgot how good that was.
It was
John
very
Goodman
good.
coming in as the fixer.
I know, and then we had to leave right after Goodman came in. Anytime Goodman comes into a scene, he just takes over. It's awesome. I'm Jeremy Fryer, laying on the bed, 1 foot on the floor, focusing on the fan spinning so that you don't spin. The worst. Spins are the worst. Nothing, and I hate throwing up, so I am not.
There's nothing worse.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse.
Yeah.
And my mom, like, she had to do some last minute shopping that day, and she like made me go with her, and I was like, pull over. Like, I was literally like, pull over. Oh my gosh, it was so horrible.
And I love Christmas Eve shopping, but that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was.
Nobody wants to do that.
Oh my gosh, it was
like
miserable.
the chaos.
I'm telling you, it was like I drink way too many ranch waters.
Well, ranch waters are delicious.
They are.
So I know I could absolutely
Too many
see how
Vegas
that
bombs
happens.
too. Like
don't like Vegas bombs.
Ooh, I
that
love
much.
me a Vegas bomb.
No. Just remember to mix waters. That's what kept me right.
That's what the
else kept
ranch
me
water
right.
was to me.
No,
like
I know.
I was like, I got the water in me, and it didn't.
You're not. Ranch waters are still good for that, right? But it's still mixing in a water every couple drinks. Never going to do you wrong. You're never going to be upset that you did.
Oh yeah.
And then maybe like a little like chugging of some sort of electrolytes right before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Take the edge off a little bit. Shout out My High, which kept me right throughout the week as well. So, and then people always say to eat like a bacon sandwich or something.
Oh, really?
I'll eat that anytime.
The next morning. Something about the grease is supposed to
I guess that
soak
makes
up
sense,
the alcohol.
but if that comes back.
Yeah, I know. It seems a bit bold, but I have heard that like burgers, like greasy food pays dividends. I do remember
That would be horrible.
Junior high school spring break, one of my first times starting to experiment with such things. My dad found me, my eyes got a little too big, and immediately off the plane, we met up with some girls, guys. Next thing you know, I'm just kind of floating in the shallows, face up. And my dad kind of snagged me up by the scruff of my neck, threw me in bed, and put like a big old burger and fries in front of me. And, learned me something that day. That was good. Good. Helped out.
And have you ever, because like Alon just said, like you swear you're not going to drink again, and everybody's always, everyone said the drinking prayer, like just get me through that.
Right.
I feel like you've never said that.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say. If there's anybody I actually believe that's never said those words, it's T-Bob.
I have had some anxiety stuff with like maybe some other things where I've been like, look, I'll never do this again. And then I'm kind of like, well, like, I was at a low point when I said that. So like, maybe like
I was vulnerable when I said it.
Just like I'll be smarter about it. It always reminds me of Charles Barkley when he's praying in Space Jam. And he's talking about, I think he's saying he'll like curse less or something.
He'll never get another technical.
I'll never date Madonna again.
Yeah. One of the Space Jam. Very good. Very, very good movie. Yes, Lana?
I was going to say, speaking of Charles Barkley.
Yeah. Wait, okay.
Spurs are playing the Pelicans.
Oh, look at that, dude. Oh, wait, and I forget. You're a massive Spurs fan.
I am. But
have y'all won a game recently?
No, we lost our last two ones, and we lost the last two matchups against the Pelicans. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose tonight. Yeah. Spurs are not great right now.
This is in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's in San Antonio. And I said this, I don't know when it was. I said this a couple weeks ago. We haven't been good since 2016, and I'm the biggest, like, I'm the person that's like, Phil Jackson, cool, right? But Greg Popovich is the GOAT to me.
Yes.
But I'm like, it's time for him
to go.
To hang it up.
Ooh. Belichickian.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I mean,
he had them good for a while. It felt like
for
post
a long
Duncan and post.
time.
I mean, no, they were awesome for a while,
yeah.
but even like post Duncan.
Oh yeah, because it was like Kawhi Leonard was
Yeah.
with them,
Yeah.
and we had like DeMar DeRozan for a little bit too.
So you don't want to give Pop time to develop Wemby?
I don't know if he still has it as my thing.
Ooh, damn.
Shot through the heart.
I know. It's
dude.
really hard for me to say that.
A2 Alantra.
I know it's really hard for me to say that.
Um,
I'm the biggest Greg Popovich fan and advocate, but
yeah, they made the playoffs, what, like 20 years in a row?
Yeah.
Or something like 20 years in a row with winning records?
Yep.
I would say next year would be the year.
yeah.
Year one of Wemby, a little too early on. Next year, if
Well,
he can't get it back,
They've
then
kind of
maybe
been bad for
No,
They've
I
been-
agree.
I'm saying
but,
like since 2016,
but-
I think was their last good year.
But remember, he purposely tanked to get Duncan back in the day, right?
He did. Yeah.
And then look at what happened. So maybe it's not going to happen as soon here because I think they were good in Duncan year one, but they also had the Admiral at the time.
Yeah.
So I would say Pop has earned at least
Yeah.
a Wemby
Yeah.
year two.
Wembanyama is
before we run him out
also,
there.
he's averaging 20 and 10.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's playing well. Like, he's developing him as a player.
Wemby's playing really well.
The problem is, guys, it's the guys around Wemby. Like you mentioned, Duncan was good year one.
Yeah.
You had David Robinson. Then
Yeah.
you bring in Tony Parker. Then you have Ginobili. Those guys are together. It's the twos and the threes behind Victor Wembanyama that you're lacking right now. And honestly, a lot of that is on Greg Popovich. To Alondra's credit, he has a lot of say in the front office decisions they make, and the roster management has not been great.
Well, the hardest thing to
hasn't.
find though is the guy.
Yeah.
So now that the
100%.
guy,
Yeah.
build around him, and I would give Pop one more year. But I feel you. That's crazy to hear. I never thought I would hear that from Spurs fans.
I think Becky Hammond should have stayed and been the guy.
Yeah. Where did Becky Hammond go? She's not on the staff
She's with
anymore?
the WNBA now.
The Aces,
Oh,
right?
okay.
I think the
she was the Vegas
Aces,
Aces.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
So
She's head
Pels,
coaching over there.
Spurs tonight, bragging rights on the line here in the OTB studio. We'll see what happens. We got more OTB coming up next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings. You want window coverings that, wow, you want K to Z. The website's ktozblinds.com. And remember, Brandon Barton, he's been in this thing for a long time, y'all. And it's that wealth of information more so than anything else that is going to blow you away, because I don't think you quite realize the depth to which he can improve your situation, right? Like, the angles that the sun's going to interact with your house at the different times of the day. Is your outdoor living space, are you looking for just sun protection? Are you looking for like temperature control? Like all these sorts of things, your man cave, your bedroom, your baby's room, whatever, starter home, new home, all price points, okay? K2ZBlinds.com.
I told y'all last week, trying to watch playoff football, had a glare on the TV. I press a button, shade goes down outside, and it helps the interior of the home because he knew our space. He's going to know yours as well. K2ZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
We're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There's never been a better time to catch a John Deere deal from the crew of Sunshine. Ask us about our low monthly payment options on our tractor packages and let the good times roll. With equipment strong enough to power one of the world's largest celebrations, we've got your needs covered too. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Offer ends April 30th, 2024.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold.
I look fly, yeah. I look good. Touch my swag, wish you could. I look fly, yeah. I look good. On my mama, on my hood. I look fly, yeah. I look good. Touch my swag, wish you could. I look fly, yeah. I look good.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Welcome you back. Oh, headache. Rock band. Oh, wait, by the way, guys. We had the greatest DM of my entire life yesterday.
Tell me everything.
Y'all know I love chess.
Oh, don't tell me everything.
Do you know that I play chess on chess.com?
I've heard.
And the website?
Blitz games, 5 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And chess.com is, the biggest player in space. They're incredible. In fact, I've been a paid member for 3 years now. Yesterday, follow them on Twitter. DM comes in from chess.com. Hey, T-Bob, our team came across a clip of your podcast where you and Jake Butt talked chess. We'd love to share some potential broadcast collaborations with you around our sports/chess collabs. Check out Blitz Champs Michigan. Interested? If so, let us know the best way to get in touch, bro.
That's pretty cool.
I mean,
that's pretty cool. I'll give
all
it
my
to
dreams
you.
are coming true, dude.
I'll give it to you. That's cool.
I don't know that I could have had a DM that would have made me more excited than chess.com.
So first Nutcracker, now this. Like, this has been a big 2 months for T-Bob.
Did you say Nutsacker?
I said Nutcracker.
Oh.
That's a thing you were in?
Yes, I know. I thought for sure though that you had a little bit of a Freudian slip and
Look,
said Nutsacker.
I get that the show's almost over, T-Bob, but I don't know. Your mind's somewhere else right now.
Well, I've been reading the Vince McMahon text.
That's true.
It
makes sense why you went there.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly where my mind is. It's covered in bodily fluids after reading those messages.
I read 2 and exited out.
It is.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I don't know how you could stop it too.
I know
It's too much for me.
I know the horny old man is a stereotype, but Vince is even pushing the boundaries of the stereotype.
Vince has gotten more as he's gotten older.
I do not, or if he hasn't, if he's gotten actually downhill, then I cannot fathom what it was like when he was 45. Because that's like a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, what was prime Vince McMahon's text messages?
No idea.
See, I just don't know. I think if that's who you are, you've been that, and you don't lose that.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're probably very similar.
Once a dog, always a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but an old dog can fool you every once in a while.
True.
Oh,
true.
okay.
I mean, Vince fooled everyone for
That's
a long
mine,
time.
by the way. I made that
I like
up.
that.
Yeah.
Fooled again, get fooled again.
You made that up?
I made that up.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I don't make up anything when I tell you to go to the MMR Group, okay?
Oh, my God.
The largest industrial contractor in the
sorry.
entire nation. He's 78. So at the time he was sending this text,
but
he
I'm
was
like,
74.
78 is insane.
Yeah. He was 74 when he sent him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that just
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Well, look, you know what's more wholesome? Careers. I'm not talking jobs, talking careers. And we had so much fun in Mobile this week, and it was all thanks to the MMR Group sponsoring the trip. Largest industrial contractor in the nation. And look, they're looking for professional staff. You're an engineer, construction manager, MMR wants you. And there's plenty of jobs available, right? If you're a student, go look into MMR internships. Change your life. Send you all around the world. If you're a new pro, a seasoned pro, you can still apply. MMRGRP.com. See what they can offer you, because you got to remember, they're not selling a product, they're selling a service. Service is defined by people. How do you make sure you have the best people? You invest in them, okay? And that's why culture is at the forefront of everything that MMR does. I was just blown away touring the campus here in Baton Rouge. It is one of many campuses around the world, around the globe. And so get that career with the MMR Group. I do some Ask the Bench. Ooh, here, look at this, dude. Just got the message. So I obviously I've responded to chess.com like,
whoa. Did you give it at least some time to breathe, or did you look thirsty?
No, this came about 15 minutes after. But I never checked DMs. So it's very random that I even saw it. So I'm excited that I didn't leave them on read, though. But they said a member of our team should reach out to you.
Did you respond professionally, or did you respond like...
I did all caps.
Hell yeah, bruh.
I did all caps. Yo, I am so effing excited, with like a bunch of exclamation marks.
But did you say the effing, or did you put effing?
No, I
like
spelled it out.
E-F-F-I-N-G?
I spelled it out. And then I said, please contact me at my phone number. I'm a huge fan of everything you do, and have been a paid subscriber for 3 years now, and I'm obsessed with all y'all's videos and app. And so, no, I just fully fangirled.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't scared. This is like meeting Taylor Swift for me. Even though I'm a little insecure because I have been playing garbage chess for a month now. Hot garbage chess. I just suck right now. So I gotta get back in the lab, and I gotta improve if suddenly I'm gonna be on chess.com's radar. Like, I'm down to like low 700s after a peak of 900 rating. It's pathetic.
I know nothing about chess, so you can play against me if you want, and it'll make you feel better.
No. All I care about is rating. That's a great part about chess. You have a very clear, I don't care about beating up someone who doesn't know how to play chess. That does nothing for me. I need to get back to 900. Ask the Bench coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. GEAUX Tommy's.com. You go to Tommy's and you will see the difference clearly. And it's not just, a funny window pun, but it is that as well. But the difference lies in the customer service that you get. It's like 7 years in a row since they were founded. They've been honored with the Angie's Service Award because it is unparalleled. It's why the reviews are so massively positive. Doesn't hurt that they have very strong price points as well. So make them one of your 3 bids on your project. Keep telling you that, okay? And then let Tommy show you why they are the best. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
That website, one more time, gotommys.com. Like T-Bob said, you can check testimonials. You can check galleries of what they can do for you. There's so many things that they can do, right? It's not just Windows. Certainly it is Windows. Do it better than anybody, but doors and siding are part of it as well. Go to that website, gotommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property, so retail stores.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000. Girl, you working with some bag, yeah. This bag, yeah. Make it wanna spin this cash.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Now, this still bangs. This still bangs.
If you said something bad about this, I was going to get you to take a lap.
No. This is on a different level than some of the other stuff we played this morning, which I love all of it, nostalgically. But I would listen to this casually still. And it's impossible not to dance when this comes on. Shout out Puxatawny Phil. Oh, we didn't even talk Groundhog Day today. Whatever. Shout out Puxatawny Phil, though. Spring coming early. Love to see it. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. It was Decades Day at my kid's school today. My 7-year-old, who's a Niners fan, dressed in all Niners gear in the 80s, 90s gear. 80s Niners gear.
Yep.
Who was your childhood favorite team or athlete?
Mine was, y'all know mine. Mine was Dan Marino. Wore 13 all through like Pee Wee football, middle school football, high school football because of Dan Marino.
I was such a front runner kid. I would get into Mike Allstott would always be up there, though. But I would kind of get into who was winning the championship at the time. I did get deeply obsessed with John Elway after reading the first Monday Night Football Quarterback Club book, in which the kid transfers consciousness with John Elway and plays in a Monday night game. So, so Elway would be my one, and Allstott, too.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Allstott was sorry to cut you off, Taylor, but Allstott, for me, was later in life, almost such a respect of, man, I want to be that guy one day, where Marino was more, I was younger. It was
yes.
Sorry, Taylor.
Allstott's legit. I showed you that picture of him and Bert Kreischer together, remember? Over the summer. Still jacked, by the way.
He is.
Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys, not unlike T-Bob. I know T-Bob was a big Cowboys fan growing up, but Peyton Manning was my favorite player growing up. That was kind of like
Peyton
my
was
first.
definitely one of them, too.
Okay.
What about you, Laundry?
Are we talking just football?
Anything.
Anything, yeah.
I was a really big Astros fan because it was when the big Bs were there. So Craig Biggio, Lance Berkman, Jeff Bagwell, and
Eric Bell.
Yeah, and even Roy Oswalt. I loved
Ken
him.
Caminiti.
Yeah, that one's probably.
Where am I blanking? Who was the closer?
Billy Wagner.
Yes, Billy Wagner. Broke his arm and learned to throw left-handed when he was a kid after he broke his arm.
Even Morgan Ensberg, nobody really talks about Morgan Ensberg. He was such a good third baseman. So the Astros in that time period were
was a good time
the
period.
best.
Well, except
yeah.
that I was a Braves fan.
Yeah.
And they would do battle all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Burke hitting
Yep,
a home
Chris
run in
Burke,
the 18th
like,
inning.
Oh my gosh, I
bum.
was such a big Chris
Actually really
Burke
like Chris
fan
Burke a lot.
whenever I was a kid, and I think like one day I was doing AFR and we called him, and I was like, oh my god, I'm talking to Chris Burke right now. Like
he has such a chin too. He has a
He does have a
jawline that's
chin.
undefeated,
Yeah.
dude. It's crazy.
I hope he has a chin.
Well, yes.
Well, I saw somebody yesterday in Mobile that did not have a chin, T-Bob. I told you about
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey, remember at AccuTemp this month, we have a great new free brewery event. Okay, January deals are over, but we got more deals here in Free Brewery. This month, you buy a whole home generator, you get $1,500 off, and you get a free surge protector. So, what are you waiting for? Schedule your free estimate today. AccuTempBR.com. You can get that service to the highest degree. Look, take control of your comfort zone. You know AccuTemp's incredible. Go look at the online reviews if you don't believe me. And once you work with them once, you're going to be like, oh my word, this is unparalleled. I've never gotten customer service like this. AccuTemp at AccuTempBR.com. Ask the bench, plain or flavored sunflower seeds?
Both.
Both,
But
yeah.
Ranch.
I like the dill pickle ones.
I don't like plain anymore, actually.
I like the Taco Bell flavored.
Oh, I didn't know those.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
It's dark, but I could see it being good.
I've always went with the barbecue.
I like all flavors, but ranch is my...
Ranch and the dill pickle one.
Do you put a handful in your mouth and crack and spit? Do you want it at a time, or do you
Handful.
just chew it all and eat it
Handful
all?
for sure.
Handful, crack and spit.
Eating it all is insane.
Yeah. I squirrel them away in like my upper lip.
Go
Yeah.
like
left
nuts.
cheek and then,
Yeah, and then
break
you
them on your
break-
front teeth
Yeah.
and then spit it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I break him with my molars, transfer to the front to
Front.
split,
Right.
and then spit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the.
The correct way?
Yeah.
Do you finger scoop the fat out of the crawfish head? Yeah.
No, I don't do that.
I also I crush every head when I suck it. I squeeze it as hard as I can to just really maximize getting everything out of there.
Got to use less teeth.
No. Well, I've heard that before. More OTB coming up Monday.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuva me. You're going to feel younger, better, stronger, faster, more jacked. Look, I don't care if you're male or female, if you're 30, 20, 40, 50, doesn't matter. Okay, aging happens at different rates. Rejuve me, they understand that. And so that's why your body is their North Star. Get that free consultation. Let them draw your lab, see what your body needs. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's semaglutide, maybe it's just B vitamin shots, maybe it's none of that, maybe it's other stuff. The point is, they're going to customize a plan for you to get you feeling better. Fight the effects of untreated aging with Rejuve Me Medical.
Go to the website today to get your consultation set up. Go to that website also, find a list of conditions that they can treat. Or get to the bottom of it. Start to feel like your youthful self. But like we always tell you, you can't get there if you don't get that consultation and allow them to help you. They're going to help you. RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade.